Good evening and welcome into the first night of December. It's chilly outside, but things are going to heat up inside as we bring you into NYTEX Sports Centre for tonight's matchup between the Amarillo Wranglers and the Lone Star Brahmas. Hi everybody, I'm Chiarenza, bringing you all the action here tonight. And it's going to be a doozy between two South Division rivals. It seems like every time these teams get together, makes for a good matchup as the Wranglers continue their road trip, fourth game out of 5 straight on the road. We'll recap last weekend right now as the Wranglers went over to West Texas, took on the El Paso Rhinos for first 2 games of the road set as they split those games between El Paso, falling on the first night and then winning miraculously in overtime the next night. And then the following Sunday, the Wranglers fell 6-3 to the Odessa Jackalopes over at Ector County Coliseum. Ben Ivy in that game had 1 goal and 1 assist. Jack Ivy scored a power play goal, as did Roman Zapp, as that Zapp goal on the power play did end up being one of the top plays in the week last week, as Jack McDonald dove along the near side boards to pitch it on his backhand to Zapp, who tapped it in as he was streaking towards the blue paint. It's a pretty spectacular play, and that's why it was a top 5 moment in the NAHL this last week. So the Wranglers, despite the loss, started to get rolling, especially on the power play. Scoring 2 power play goals, broke a 7-game drought where they did not score on the power play. So that's something to build upon for the Wranglers as well. Penalty kill was actually pretty good in that game also, as the PK unit continues to perform for the Wranglers this season. So the Wranglers riding high on special teams into a matchup with the Lone Star Brahmas. This is a matchup where the Wranglers really have to be on their A game. Now, Lone Star Brahmas coming into this matchup are on a 4-game win streak, have the best record in the league at 19-6-0-2, 40 points on the year. They're the first team to crack the 40-point plateau. This team's riding high, and they've got a lot of goal scorers that can get things done. Last time these two teams met up, it was Brock James scoring 14 seconds into the contest in what ended up being a 9-0 Lone Star Brahmas victory over at the Budweiser bullpen. The Wranglers are hoping for a different outcome here tonight, and they have revenge on their mind as they look to prove that that 9-0 loss at home was just a fluke. As the Lone Star Brahmas, as we mentioned, are coming into the game with a 4-game win streak. Look at guys that are riding high, as Bryce Ingles has a goal and 5 assists in his last 5 games played, wearing number 21 for Lone Star. As a defenseman, he's having quite the year, as he now has 4 goals, 9 assists for 13 points in 26 games with the Brahmas this season. Although 1 goal and 3 assists out of that total came on that matchup November 18th in the 9-0 victory for Lone Star. Another guy that's been riding high for Lone Star, Jacob McDonald. The Fort Worth, Texas native has been performing at a high rate for Lone Star so far this season, as he has 7 goals, 4 assists for 11 points in 11 games, a point-per-game player for Lone Star, and he has at least 1 point in all but 3 games so far this season. So the Wranglers have to watch out for him. And then, of course, you look towards the goal for Lone Star, 2 very serviceable options for the Brahmas this season. You've got Deeves Roloffs, who's having himself a year in 19 games played, has a record of 12-5-0-1. He's been fantastic. But then you look on the other side and look at their backup, who probably shouldn't even be called a backup, more like a 1A, 1B situation. Look at Jack Winicky, who really burst onto the scene with the Brahmas this season. Started out with the Maryland Black Bears, won goaltender of the month in September with Maryland. Then comes over to Lone Star and wins goaltender of the month for November, as he was recently named the goalie of the month earlier this afternoon for the month of November for his stellar play, allowing less than a goal against per average in the month of November and having a perfect record, as he sits at 12-0-0-4 on the season with a 1.21 goals against average and a .950 save percentage. No, by the way, he's got 4 shutouts on the year, so seems like whoever's going to be in goal for the Brahmas, it's going to be a tough egg to crack for the Wranglers, and so they're going to need to get some depth scoring here today. And look at guys like Roman Zapp, Ben Ivy, and Jack Ivy to get the job done. We talked about Ben Ivy having a goal and an assist in that Odessa game. That was his 4th multi-point game of the season so far. Roman Zapp right behind him, having 3 goals in his last 2 games played. And, of course, you can't disregard Jack Ivy, who's on a tear to start the year, as he has already broken his career mark for goals, as he now has 13 on the season with that power play tally over in Odessa on Sunday. he's having himself a career season, as are a lot of Wranglers. As you look down the lineup, Connor McNaughton has performing fantastically for the Wranglers this season. He's also on pace to have a career year. He's got 14 points in 24 games. Look for him to be a big factor for the Wranglers here this evening. Alex Papasropoulos and Topi Pukkanen, standout rookies for the Wranglers this season, playing on that second line with Zap. They've been awesome as well. Wranglers going to need every man to step up here tonight, as it's probably going to take a full team effort for the Wranglers to come away with a victory in enemy territory against the number 1 team in the league, the Lone Star Brahmas. And so you come into this game, one of the keys to the game is for the Wranglers, you got to score first. And you do not want to play from behind against this Lone Star Brahmas team. Get this, when the Brahmas score first this season, they're 16-1-0-1. That is just unbelievable. And so for the Wranglers, you certainly want to get off onto the right foot, because when the Brahmas trail first, the 3-5-0-1, which is much more manageable for the Wranglers, opposed to that other stat that I just listed off. So for the Wranglers, you want to get off to a hot start. You don't want to play from behind against this Brahmas team. They will clamp down on you. They will make play tough through the neutral zone. They're going to suffocate you in your own zone, just throwing shots on your own goal, forcing you to just dump the puck out of your own zone so you can just get a change. Wranglers can't let the Brahmas do that to them here tonight. They have to get that first goal of the game and be able to hold the lead, as it's going to be one of those contests where perhaps it's a race to 3. We might not see a lot of goals here tonight. Might be more of a defensive game, but the Wranglers, you have to be smart and not make any mistakes. Most importantly, you have to control possession, which is number 2 on my list. You have to make smart plays against this Brahmas team. They're going to force you to make ill-advised errors. And for the Wranglers, you just got to keep your head up, make smart plays, control the neutral zone. And it seems like whoever controls the neutral zone in a game like this comes away with the victory. And, of course, finally, Wranglers need to get more shots on goal, and that includes traffic in front of whoever's starting in goal here tonight, as we're still awaiting these starting lineups here from NYTEX Sports Centre. But whether it be Jack Winicky or Deves Rolovs, Wranglers are going to have to get men in front of the net, as both goaltenders, seems like if they can see it, they're going to stop it. So for the Wranglers here tonight, maybe one of those games where you're going to need an unconventional goal. You're going to need a greasy goal. You're going to need a tip in out in front. You're going to need a rebound goal. Something pretty unconventional for the Wranglers here today, as it seems like we're going against 2 of the top goaltenders in the league. They both tied at the top of the league standings in terms of wins with 12. Although for the Wranglers, they have a good one in net as well, as right behind them with 11 wins on the year is Connor McDonough. Connor McDonough has been excellent for the Wranglers so far this season. As in 18 games played, he has a record of 11-5-2, a 2.33 goals against average, and a .908 save percentage, and 1 shutout on the year. That coming against Shreveport earlier on in the season, as he stopped 25 of 27 against El Paso last Saturday. Although on Sunday it was Luca Gons who was released by the Wranglers earlier this afternoon. I'd like to thank Luca for his contributions to the Wranglers organization, as it will be Connor McDonough's net here tonight. So we'll see if he can get the job done again for the 12th time this season, as the 19-year-old from Bendham, New Jersey, looks to lead the way for the Wranglers between the pipes here tonight. We come back on the Wranglers pregame show. We'll talk starting lineups, preview this matchup a little bit more, as it's a South Division showdown between the Wranglers and the Brahmas. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network. We'll be back in just a few.
This is Topi Puikkonen, and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back into NYTEX Sports Centre, where we are still going through the pregame show. First intermission festivities will be, first period festivities will begin shortly as we are running along through the pregame show, as looks to be another great matchup between two South Division rivals, the Amarillo Wranglers and the Lone Star Brahmas. Let's get to the starting lineups here tonight. As for the home Lone Star Brahmas, looks like they're going to run with their top line of number 58, Matthias Borak, on the left wing. The 5'10", 175-pound forward from Czechia will get the start on that left side. Borak had a game back on November 18th at the Budweiser bullpen, a game us Wranglers fans would like to forget, but in that game, he was the only scorer that had 2 goals in that contest, as he scored 2 goals and 1 assist. He's a dangerous threat, and the Wranglers have to watch out for him every time he steps onto the ice. Got to watch out for Matthias Borak on that left side. Down the middle, number 7, Ivan Zadvernyuk, as he is playing lights out this season as well. The native of Kiev, Ukraine, stands at 6'3", 190 pounds, 19-year-old Ivan Zadvernyuk. So far this season, in 26 games played, has 23 points, 6 goals, and 17 assists, and he's got 5 assists in his last 5 games played. For the Wranglers, going to want to keep him off the score sheet if you want to have the chance at winning. And you always got to watch out for number 7 in white, who is committed to play at Brown University. To his right, number 20, Charlie Masick, stands at 5'10", 175 pounds. The Wisconsin native gets that start on that right wing side. Masick this season has amassed 15 points in 23 games, 8 goals, 7 assists, as he himself is having quite a year so far. And that'll round out that top line for the Brahmas. So again, Borak on the left wing, Zadvernyuk down the middle, right wing, Charlie Masick. On defense for the Brahmas, they're going to go with that second pairing of Alex Keskintepi, the Atlanta, Georgia native, standing at 6'4", 200 pounds. 20-year-old wearing number 64 will get that start at left D. Keskintepi wearing the A on his sweater this season for the Brahmas. Has 5 points in 26 games. But look at this. He's a plus 23 on the season. So he's having himself a year on the blue line. And tonight he'll be paired up with number 21, Bryce Ingles. We talked about him at the top of the pregame show. The Clyde, Michigan native. Or excuse me, looks like he is, well, they got him listed Anaheim, California here on the line chart. Elite Prospects had him over at Clyde, Michigan. So looks like he's from Anaheim, California. Kyle Eisenberg, or excuse me, I'm looking at Bryce Ingles. No, never mind. Oh, my goodness. Bryce Ingles is from Clyde, Michigan. Kyle Eisenberg is from Anaheim, California. Bryce Ingles, wearing number 21, stands at 5'9", 180 pounds. He is from Clyde, Michigan, as he will get that start on the right side, paired up with Alex Keskintepi. And so Bryce Ingles coming into the game is committed to the University of Maine. We talked about it. He's got a goal and 5 assists in his last 5 games played. 1 goal, 3 assists in that game over on November 18th. You got to watch out for Bryce Ingles. Seems like he can move the puck on the blue line. Also play quite well defensively as well. He's a plus 20 on the season. So Brahmas will field out one of their best pairings, Keskintepi and Bryce Ingles. And in goal, it will be number 1, Dives Rolovs. The Latvian goaltender standing at 6'3", 185 pounds, catches left. The 19-year-old will get the start in goal for the Brahmas with a record of 12-5-0-1, a 1.63 goals against average, and a .921 save percentage, and a shutout to boot. Dives Rolovs gets the start in goal for Lone Star. And the Brahmas are led by head coach and general manager Dan Wildfong, who seems to have been around here for forever. Always has the Brahmas as a perennial playoff contender. His assistant coach is Logan Murphy, and the equipment manager is Jaden Carter. Flip the page over toward the visiting Amarillo Wranglers, and they will start with their top line as well. Number 93, Jack McDonald, standing at 6'1", 170 pounds. The 20-year-old from New York is going to play on that left wing with Ben Ivey down the middle, and Jack Ivey to his right. Jack McDonald this season has 13 points in 24 games, 2 goals, 11 assists. Of course, we talked about earlier on that fantastic play over in Odessa where Luka Gans hits him with the stretch pass He leaps over at the near side boards to backhand it towards the middle, finds Roman Zapp on the power play. That is the number 5 play in the week last week. And coming from Jack McDonald, looking for more magic from him here tonight. As Jack McDonald will get that start on the left wing. Down the middle, Ben Ivy, number 4 Wranglers captain. Ben Ivy standing at 6'3", 181 pounds, the 19-year-old from San Diego, California. Will get the start down the middle for the Wranglers. He's been phenomenal this season, posting 19 points in 22 games, 13 goals, 6 assists. He's been great so far this season. Looks like he's on track for a career year as well, as Ben Ivy go down the middle for the Wranglers. And on the right wing, Jack Ivy, standing at 6'3", 200 pounds, twin brother of Ben Ivy, both committed to go play at Army next season. Jack Ivy this season, 13 goals, 6 assists, 19 points. Ben Ivy this season, 6 goals, 11 assists, 17 points. So the Ivy twins having a great start to the year, as the Wranglers will rely on them here tonight on that top line. On defense, number 16, Colin Doherty. We see his parents here right down to my left. Looks like his family has made the trip over to NYTEX to watch him play. He will get the start, wearing number 16 for the Wranglers, standing at 6'1", 201 pounds. The Illinois native is having a pretty good year so far for the Wranglers. He'll be paired up with number 2, Kyle DeMarco, longtime Wranglers defenseman, standing at 6'3", 200 pounds. The right shot defenseman from Plymouth, Michigan, will get the start at right D, paired up with Colin Doherty. And in goal, we talked about it earlier. We'll talk about it again. Number 1 in goal and number 1 in our hearts, Connor McDonough, getting the start for the Wranglers. McDonough standing at 6'5", 209, the 19-year-old from Mendham, New Jersey, catches left. Has a record of 11-5-2 in 18 appearances on the season. Has a 2.33 goals against average, a .908 save percentage, and 1 shutout on the season against the Shreveport Mudbugs early in the month of November. He has been great for the Wranglers this season. He will get the nod in net here tonight. McDonough's 11 wins on the season are second in the North American Hockey League, only to the 2 Brahmas goaltenders here tonight, Deeves Roloz and Jack Winicky. So if McDonough comes out with a win here tonight against Rolovs, we'll have a 3-way tie for the leader amongst goaltenders in terms of wins. The backup to McDonough here tonight, Andrew Peterson, as the Wranglers did release Luca Gons earlier on in the afternoon. I'd like to thank Luca once again for his contributions to the Wranglers organization, as Andrew Peterson slides in as the backup here this evening. Peterson standing at 6'3", 200 pounds, catches left. He's from Grand Forks, North Dakota, was most recently with the Cleveland Barons under-18 team. So he will be the backup to Connor McDonough here this evening, and he'll wear number 35 as the Wranglers look to get back in the win column against one of their biggest rivals in the Lone Star Brahmas. When we come back on the pregame show, we will preview this matchup a little bit further as the players hit the ice. We'll talk about who needs to step up here for the Wranglers here tonight, some of the keys to victory for the Wranglers here this evening. All that and more coming up next on the Wranglers Hockey Network. Don't go back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back into NYTEX Sports Centre as we are just about 7 minutes away from first period action between the Wranglers and the Brahmas. Talked about the Wranglers starters earlier on. Let's look at the rest of the lineup here this evening as the Wranglers going with that top line of McDonald, Ivy, and Jack Ivy. So Ben Ivy and Jack Ivy at center and right wing respectively. Second line, you've got Topi Puukkonen, Roman Zapp, and Alex Papaspropoulos. Nothing new there. That line has been one of the Wranglers' most consistent lines throughout the course of the season. No reason to break them up. Head coach Ryan Anderson and assistant Connor Young will keep that line together as Roman Zapp seems to have been producing as of late. Looking to get a little bit of a boost from Topi Puukkonen, still among the team leaders in scoring, but he's been a bit cold as of late. Wranglers look to jumpstart him and get him back in the scoring column here tonight, as Puukkonen is scoreless in his last 4 games. Alex Papaspropoulos will play on that right wing wearing number 77 for the Wranglers, standing at 5'11", 180 pounds, the native of Toronto, Canada. Will round out that line of Puukkonen and Zapp and Papaspropoulos for the Wranglers. And then the third line for the Wranglers, looking like Grayson Gerhard, wearing number 18 on the left wing. Scored his first North American Hockey League goal over in El Paso. Down the middle, number 27, Connor McNaughton, having himself quite the year so far. Need a little bit more from him here tonight if the Wranglers want to come away with a victory. To his right, number 74, Alex Stepanek. The Czechia forward will be in search of his first North American Hockey League goal here tonight, and be a fine time for him to do it. As that'll round out that third line for the Wranglers, and then the fourth and final forward line for the Wranglers is number 12, Tommy Chunchikov on the left wing. Luke Morris returning to the lineup down the middle wearing number 11, and to his right, number 21, Morley Phillips. And then Wranglers dressing an extra forward here this evening. It'll be number 44, Trace Day, getting back into the lineup for the Wranglers, the native of Mesa, Arizona. Is most recently with the Maine Nordiques under-18 club of the NAPHL, standing at 6'3", 210 pounds. A lefty shot. He will look for his first North American Hockey League goal here tonight, as we saw 2 of those over in El Paso with Grayson Gerhard and Corson McGuire, each scoring their first goal in the league in that road trip over to El Paso. So who knows, maybe we'll see a few more of those here this weekend. And for the Wranglers, that would certainly be a welcome sight, as they've been in need of depth scoring over the last couple of games. We started to see it happen towards the tail end of our time in El Paso. Got 3 goals on the board over in Odessa. The Wranglers can keep that up and add to that scoring here against the Lone Star Brahmas. A pretty tight-knit defensive team. They'll be in pretty good shape here tonight. Of course, on defense, we talked about that Doherty and DeMarco pairing. We talked about Trey Williams and Nolan Gagnon, that first pairing. Nothing new there. Those 2 have been one of the Wranglers' best pairing so far this season. And the third pairing for the Wranglers will be number 8, Bryce Cooper on the left side. Number 7, Drew Jeffers to his right. That'll round out the Wranglers' D-corps. So the Wranglers dressing 6 defensemen here tonight, and looks like 13 forwards, as it's going to be a bit of an interesting matchup here between the Wranglers and the Lone Star Brahmas. As once again, Connor McDonough will get the start in goal. Andrew Peterson, wearing number 35, will be the backup here tonight, as they've rolled out the red carpet here at NYTEX Sports Centre. Looks like we're getting ready for first period action deep in Brahma land. Looks like we are moments away from the national anthem, and maybe a puck drop or 2 before this one gets started, as we're looking forward to this matchup between the Wranglers and the Brahmas. This is one of those matchups that ever since that game at the Budweiser bullpen, and of course you probably know which one I'm talking about, I really had this one circled on my calendar. I thought it would be a good trip for the Wranglers to go down to El Paso and Odessa. While it was a tough trip in terms of travel, certainly helped the Wranglers get a little bit of momentum going as they look to bounce back against the Lone Star Brahmas here this weekend. But I had this matchup circled on my calendar because I wanted to see how the Wranglers would respond. You get that week off, or I guess week away from the Brahmas, to kind of reset, get your game back, and now we'll see how the Wranglers respond here. But it's going to be difficult in enemy territory against the Brahmas, as this is a tough building to play in. The fans make it very, very difficult, so we'll see how it happens here this evening. Be back in just a few moments for a first period puck drop from NYTEX Sports Centre. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
We are back at NYTEX Sports Centre as we get ready for first period puck drop between the Wranglers and the Brahmas. Both teams have taken the ice as the Wranglers standing up on the blue line. Brahmas still crowding around their bench. They got the red carpet rolled out towards my right. Looks like we're going to have some festively dressed anthem singers here this evening as the Wranglers will skate from left to right, Brahmas from right to left as you see it on NATV. And we will paint a picture for you here on our YouTube audio stream as they get loud here at NYTEX Sports Centre, one of the toughest environments to play in the South Division. As fans are always rowdy and on their feet here in Brahmaland. And they've got a lot to cheer about recently as the Lone Star Brahmas are the #1 team in the North American Hockey League. 40 points on the season for Lone Star with a record of 19-6-0-2, led by head coach and general manager Dan Wildfong. They're the cream of the crop so far in the South Division. Wranglers looking to make up some ground against them here as they will play their next 4 games against the Brahmas. First 2 here at NYTEX, and the next 2 over at the Budweiser bullpen. Coming up next is the national anthem, and then after that, first period puck drop from Lone Star.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
We are all set and ready to go from NYTEX Sports Centre, otherwise known as Brahmaland, home of the Lone Star Brahmas. They will host the Amarillo Wranglers here this evening. Brahmas lead the season series 3-1, as this is the 5th meeting of the season between Amarillo and Lone Star. Once again, starting in net for the Wranglers, number 1, Connor McDonough. In 18 appearances so far this season, posting a record of 11-5-2, a 2.33 goals against average, a 908 save percentage, and 1 shutout on the year. He'll get the nod and goal for the Wranglers. And for the Lone Star Brahmas, it'll be Dives Rolovs. Wearing number 1, the Latvian goaltender. In 19 games played this season, has a record of 12-5-0-1. A 1.63 goals against average, a 921 save percentage, and 1 shutout on the year. As we are just about time to get rocking from NYTEX. As Ben Ivy will lean in, take the draw against Ivan Zavranyuk, and away we go from Brahmaland. Guy Chiarenza bringing the action here tonight as the Brahmas will ice the puck just 8 seconds into the contest. And so it'll be an offensive zone draw for the Wranglers right off the hop. Ben Ivy and company will skate down over to the far circle of the Brahmas zone to the right of Dives Rolovs to get things started in the offensive zone. This is also one of these games where face-offs are going to play a critical role. As you win a face-off, you do get possession. I think possession is going to be a big determining factor in who wins this game.
They want you to be louder. They are certain that you must be louder.
They already urge fans to get louder. And it looks like we got a cowbell towards my right. Draw is won by the Brahmas. Matthias Borak comes away with it on the left wing wall. He will lift it out to center, where it's gloved down by Kyle DeMarco. Pitches it towards his left for Ben Ivy, who evades a check from Ingles before he pitches it down. As puck goes back out towards the neutral zone, tapped in by Lone Star. Colin Doherty will field the puck for the Wranglers. Family in attendance as turnover here, and a chance for Lone Star right off the hop. And it'll roll in on McDonough, and he'll cover. Looks like Brock James was the first one to pounce on that puck as the Wranglers took a tumble in their own zone. Brock James, we know how dangerous he can be, as he scored 14 seconds into the last contest that these two teams played against each other. James this season has 27 points on the year, 10 goals, 17 assists, but he only has 1 goal and 1 assist in his last 5 games played. As the Wranglers win the defensive zone draw, Gagnon finds Papaspropoulos at the near half wall, backhands it out to center. And the Brahmas will twist it back down towards McDonough. Play continues to roll. Hamstead down deep into Wrangler territory. Goes around the net, wraparound try is stopped by McDonough. And we get a whistle 54 seconds into the contest. This draw will be to the left of McDonough. Looks like Brock James is going to take it against Grayson Gerhard. And the Brahmas win at left point. It's Atiri towards his right. It's got Murakami. Brahmas captain will backhand it down below the goal line. Brahmas will cycle it around towards the near point. Across, Murakami, one-timer screeches wide. As it comes back out on the near point, held in by McDonald. Swings it around towards the far side boards. Brahmas still with possession, trying to find a man in the middle. It's picked off by Trey Williams and sent back out to center. Brahmas will field it from their own zone. Ray Murakami with his head up. Stretch pass, glances off the stick of Justin Kerr. As he tries to muscle his way by Nolan Gagnon. Wasn't going to happen, although the Brahmas do retain possession as they go point to point. Shot here is stopped by McDonough. Puck bouncing. Swept back out towards the Wrangler blue line. Will Gerhard will bank it off the near wall and down towards the Brahmas zone. Brahmas already with 3 shots on goal. Little under 2 minutes into the contest. Zap down the near side wall. Checked by Kerr. Loses the puck for the moment, and now it's pinned up against the boards. Everybody trying to fish it away. As bouncing puck is corralled by Lone Star. Sent back down towards Bryce Cooper. He will go to his left for Pukkanen. Find Jeffers in the middle at the red line. Gets in a bit of trouble. Gets taken down. Luckily, the puck will roll back onto Cooper's stick, and he will scamper around in his own zone, find a man up ahead. As the Wranglers having some difficulty exiting their own zone, Lone Star not making it easy on him. Krelovic turning and shooting, goes off a skate of his own man, and Bergeron and behind the net. Towards the near corner plays goes. Cooper gets dragged down by a Brahma. Arm is raised as the culprit was Saxton Tess. We'll see who they'll take here on the game's first penalty. And it looks like they're only going to take Bryce Cooper. So, on a play where it looked like Tess dragged down Cooper, it's going to be Cooper that's going to go. And the Brahmas will get the first power play of the night.
Condolences to number 8, Bryce Cooper from Amarillo, 2 minutes for holding.
It's going to be 2 minutes for holding, so the Wranglers' penalty kill goes to work early on in this one. And right off the hop, Wranglers get it to the line, but not out. To the line, Murakami drifting towards his right top of the circle with time. Goes across to Zadvernyuk. He will be patient as well. 1-2 pass towards the middle, towards the right circle. Brahmas fumbling the puck. Borak to the line. Zadvernyuk left side, top of the circle, shooting. Blocked away by McDonough. Squirts back out on the far side, handled by Murakami, trying to go around Doherty. Brahmas see the puck ping-pong off a skate, and the Wranglers will clear. This Wranglers' penalty kill so far this season, posting excellent numbers, 84.5% on the year. Brahma power play standing at 16% coming into the game. Lone Star will look to break out from their own zone. Justin Kerr drops off for Antti Atiri. Brahmas have 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining on the power play. As Kerr gains center red, now Wranglers blue. Chips it towards himself. Right corner, Kerr goes around, and the pass is intercepted by Gagnon. Held in at left point by Atiri. Couple quick passes towards the middle, and the Wranglers sniff that one out as well, as they'll send it back down to Rolovs for the clear. With 40 seconds remaining on the power play, Atiri up ahead, connects with Brock James in front of the Wranglers bench. James in front of the bench, drops it off. Wranglers disruptive here, get another clear. As they'll send it back down towards Rolovs. 25 seconds remaining on the Lone Star power play. Atiri drop pass at center. Zadvernyuk bustles into Amarillo territory. Zadvernyuk towards the right point. James now at the line. Atiri back to James, skates in, across. One too many passes, and Jack Ivey takes it away. He will race his way towards the Brahmas zone. Jack Ivey turning, shooting, and a save made by Rolovs, his first of the evening. And that'll do it for the penalty. So the Wranglers get an early penalty kill on the first night of December. Fresh bodies come on the ice for both squads as stretch pass does not connect for the Brahmas. No icing here. McDonough out to retrieve it for the Wranglers. Gagnon up the near side wall. Phillips exchanges with Morris, and bodies collide at the Wranglers' blue line. Ultimately, though, looks like it's going to be an offside on the Brahmas. 5 minutes and 2 seconds into the first. Shot count reads 4-1 in favor of the Brahmas. This is one of those things that we talked about in the pregame show. The Wranglers need to find a way to limit Lone Star's shot count and also get some shots on the board of their own. So far, tough sledding. As the puck goes up into the air, stays in play on the near side wall. Players converge for it and wrap around boards to McDonough. He'll play it for Jeffers. Drew Jeffers looking for Phillips. Puck glances back towards Drew as he will send it back down ahead. As it will off the stick of a Wrangler and out of play with 14:35 to go in the first.
From a simple trim to a new style, or even perhaps an old school shave from a straight razor. When you are tired of looking like Sasquatch, head on over to Aaron's on 7th.
Looks like this next draw is going to be right on the center ice logo. Ben Ivy will battle with Ivan Zadvernyuk. And the Wranglers will come away with it as Kyle DeMarco winds it up ahead, glances off a stick, and onto the races of McDonald. McDonald towards the goal, and looks like it rang off the iron. McDonald looking back for Jack Ivy. Meanwhile, Ben Ivy gets taken down in the process, and now we get a whistle and an arm raised. What a brilliant chance for Jack McDonald. Tried to go backhand on Deves Roloffs. Looked like he was just inches away from giving the Wranglers a 1-0 lead off the turnover. Looks like it's going to be Zadvernyuk going towards the penalty box. 2 minutes for holding. 5 minutes and 40 seconds into the first period, so the Wranglers will get their first crack at it on the power play. Wranglers went 2 for 3 in Odessa as the Brahmas get an early clear back out to center. Although a whistle here will stop the clock with 14:13 remaining in the first. 7 seconds gone off the Wrangler power play. Wrangler power play coming in at 20.2%. Brahma penalty kill 88.5% entering the evening. As Roloffs makes a quick pad save, Wranglers get it to the line. Gagnon towards his right, turns and shoots. Puck loose at the top of the crease, and Roloffs is able to pounce on it and freeze it up with 1:43 remaining on the Wrangler power play. Some good puck movement there for the Wranglers. Look at Nolan Gagnon, 19 in blue, quarterbacking this power play for the Wranglers on that top power play unit. Is out there with him the Ivy twins, Topi Pukkanen and Jack McDonald. As Wranglers will come away with the puck on the draw. Right point, it's Gagnon for Ben Ivy. Quick up to the line. Jack Ivy on his backhand towards the goal. Backhand try. Goes wide. Pukkanen to the line. Gagnon one-timer sticked away out in front, and the Brahmas will clear all the way back down to McDonough. A couple of Wranglers go off. The new ones come on as Gagnon with speed through center. Towards his right for Papaspropoulos into enemy territory. Walks the line. Turns it on goal. Blocked out in front. And it'll be sniffed out by McDonald, and he will pitch it back down towards Wrangler ice. 1 minute remaining on the penalty to Zadvernyuk. Zap left side. Papaspropoulos across to Ponick, shooting and a shoulder save by Roloffs. Held in at the right point by Jeffers. Not for much longer as he's forced back out to center. And another whistle here will stop the clock with 13:04 to go in the first, 46 seconds remaining on the Zadvernyuk penalty. Looks like the Wranglers were offside on that last play. Good look there for Alex Stepanek. And get this, the Wranglers have now tied the shot count at 4. Wranglers win the neutral zone draw. It's Papaspropoulos for Jeffers. Skates over the center ice logo. Gets taken down at the blue line, and the arm is raised. Wranglers are going to get a 5-on-3 penalty here for the next 30 seconds. Looks like the guilty party is Alex Keskentepe. I believe that will be kneeing.
Brahmas penalty on number 64, Alex Keskentepe, 2 minutes for the knee.
And so the Wranglers with a 5-on-3 opportunity with 30 seconds here. Big face-off coming up. Looks like Ben Ivy will take it for Amarillo. And the Wranglers do win the draw, but a little too cleanly as they'll have to scamper back out to center to retrieve it. Gagnon with speed into the attacking zone. Winds it around, pops out far side for Jack Ivy, and that puck had too much steam on it as well as it glanced off his stick and goes back down towards the Wranglers zone. Unfortunate sequence of events here for the Wranglers. Maybe one last gasp on the 5-on-3. Left side, Jack Ivy towards the goal, goes off the end wall. Right side, McDonald to Gagnon, across, Jack Ivy to Gagnon, shooting, pad save by Rolovs. Puck still held in by Ben Ivy, dancing high slot, shooting, and it goes off a stick and out of play. Wranglers on the power play for the next minute and 22 seconds. Meanwhile, we've got a Brahma gingerly getting up to his feet. And that looks like it's Antti Atiri. And he will hobble his way towards the bench. Very gingerly. So hopefully he'll be all right. Don't want to see anybody go down. Keep an eye on him and see if he's going to stick it out and stay in this game. Meanwhile, draw to the right of Rolov's, far circle of the Brahmas zone as you see it on NATV. Zap will take it against James. And Zap will win it. Left point, Papaspropoulos. Across for Jeffers. Rims it around towards the far side wall. Waiting for it was Papaspropoulos and Stepanek. Brahmas on the PK. Can't get it out. Held in there by Papaspropoulos. Goes around towards the far point. Make that the far half wall as Zap is able to field it. Now goes to the far point for Jeffers. Now back up towards the middle, and James will take it and send it back down on goal to McDonough with 49 seconds to go on the Wrangler power play. Jeffers through center towards his left, off the skate of Jack Ivy. He will give chase. He'll win that race towards the puck. And the Brahmas will clear again as McNaughton couldn't handle it. Maybe one last chance here on the power play for the Wranglers as that first unit comes back on. Jack Ivy for Ben Ivy. Gains center red. Now Brahmas blue. Ben Ivy looking towards the middle. Goes off a skate. Held in by Pukkanen. Tries to muscle away from a defender. Gets it to the right point for Jack Ivy. Across. Gagnon. One-timer from Pukkanen is blocked, and the Brahmas will clear. And that'll do it for the Wrangler power play. And blocking that shot was Antti Atiri, and now he's really in some pain as he will hobble his way back towards the bench. Meanwhile, puck back out at center. Wranglers force the Brahmas to regroup here. Justin Kerr right down Broadway towards the goal, shooting, and a pad save by McDonough. Rebound scooped up by Ben Ivy. He'll bank it off the end wall for Gagnon, and he will lift it further as Chunchikov will see it glide by him towards the neutral zone. Play goes deep into the Wranglers zone. Gagnon winds and blasts it towards the line, but not out. Held in by Emmons. Below the goal line it goes. Justin Kerr on his forehand, now to his backhand. Drops it down low, looking for Masick. He's got him. Left point. Emmons across. Brahmas continue to cycle the puck as Justin Kerr on his forehand in the near corner. Exchanges down low. It's Bryce Ingles to the left point. Emmons towards the goal. Easily sticked away by McDonough. Goes towards the corner. Masick retrieves the puck. Brahmas still with possession here. Left point, it's Emmons. Across. Fake a shot. Across for Masick, and he swings and misses on the one-timer. And Trace Day will scoop up the puck and race towards the neutral zone. The Arizona native will just dump it down as the Wranglers were in much need of a change. Back out at center, Jeffers swats it ahead for Gerhard. Wranglers going to be offside on this play with 9:11 to go in the first period, and looks like, well, maybe 6 men on the ice. Looks like they might have caught the Brahmas here as we await the official call. And it will be too many men on the Lone Star Brahmas, so the Wranglers will get another power play opportunity here. As I know that's a penalty that coaches hate. So the representative will be Matthias Borak for Lone Star. And again, another power play opportunity for the Wranglers. We saw the PP unit heat up over in Odessa. I'll see if they can continue that trend against Lone Star. Already 0 for 2. As off the draw, Jack Ivy shoots, and a pad saved by Rolovs. Pukkanen tries to go off the wall, looking for Gagnon. He's got him. Walks the line towards his left. Across, Ivy one-timer. as Jack Ivy screeches it off the end wall. Ben Ivy, near side, right point, Gagnon. Looking for Pukkanen. Defensive stick gets in the way. Brahmas trying to fish the puck free. Held in. Jack Ivy, twist, backhands it below the goal line for McDonald. Play goes into the far corner. The Brahmas try and get it out. Held in by Gagnon. Across. Pukkanen shooting, and a save made by Rolovs on that bid. And now the Brahmas will clear with 1 minute and 22 seconds remaining on the Wrangler power play. Stretch pass McDonough. Connects with McDonald. Tries to sashay his way into the attacking zone. Puck goes below the Brahma goal line. Scooped up by Murakami. Wranglers converge on him. He's able to play it up. And here comes Connor Bergeron. He'll gain center red and dump it in. Meanwhile, McDonald gets hauled down in front of his own bench. No call to be had, though, as we'll continue to play 5-on-4 for the next 56 seconds as the Wranglers still on the power play. Jeffers. Drop pass for Zapp. Tries to enter the attacking zone, loses an edge, and the Brahmas will swing it back down towards McDonough for another clear. Drew Jeffers will start the breakout here. Drop pass, connects with Stepanek. Check forward. Flips it high into the air, and it'll go out of play. With 7:40 to go in the first, 29 seconds left on the power play. Right idea from Stepanek, just a little too high and a little too much steam as it floated its way out into the stands. It'll be a neutral zone draw on the near side across from the Brahmas bench. Off the draw, Jack Ivy from center. Whips it around towards the near side. Pukkanen battling there in the corner. One of the Wranglers' strongest forwards trying to pry it free. There's a few bodies in there to help him out, and they do. Gagnon across. Jack Ivy towards the goal. Goes off the stick of Keskatepe, and he will backhand it back out to center. Wranglers quickly trying to re-enter here in the waning moments of the power play. Looks like they're just going to wait this one out and get a fresh change. We're back to 5-on-5 strength. Wranglers come away empty-handed once again. Ben Ivy backhands it towards his right for Jack Ivy, with him staying out after the end of the power play. Ben Ivy in the far corner, being checked there by Bryce Ingles. Ben Ivy drops off for Jack Ivy, throws it towards the slot. Puck is bouncing, goes behind the goal. Ingles shadowed there by Ben Ivy, trying to peel the puck free. Gets it towards the slot and looking for Morley Phillips on the one-timer. He just didn't get enough mustard on it, as the Brahmas will come away with the puck here and lift it back out to center. Wranglers doing all the right things right now. Sometimes it's not about scoring on the power play, but the momentum generated after it. Here's Tommy Chonchikov, and at the last second, he gets it poked away from him by Emmons. It looked like he was home free. Emmons in the neutral zone gets plastered by Luke Morris as play goes into the Wranglers zone. Get it back out to center, looking to connect with Morley Phillips. Goes by him. Emmons will give chase. No icing. 6 minutes remaining in the first. Bryce Cooper backpedals into his own zone. Goes across for Jeffers. Head up. Looking for a Wrangler up ahead. McNaughton racing down with Gerhard. They will get to the puck first. Deep into Brahma land. Grayson Gerhard pinned up against the boards, connects with Stepanek. He will turn towards his forehand, being checked there by a Brahmas defender. As James gets it back out to center, but the Wranglers really dominating things through the neutral zone and in terms of possession here ever since their power play opportunities. As McNaughton near half wall towards the goal, goes off the skate of McDonald, and he will skate it back out to center towards his right. He connects with Brock James. Across looking for Hamstead, and a Wrangler gets in the way of that pass. Brahmas retain possession, though, as Hamstead spinning in the far corner. Gets it down low for James. Centering pass, and a save made by McDonough. And Gagnon's there to sweep it away. And Jeffers will pick up that loose bouncing puck, get it out to center, and just chop it ahead as the Wranglers get a partial change. Dangerous chances on both sides of the ice. Still a scoreless game here at NYTEX Sports Centre. Near corner of the Wranglers zone, Saxton Test battling with Alex Papaspropoulos. Puck squeaks free to Jeffers. He'll backhand it up to Pukkanen. It's checked there by Murakami, pinching down low, trying to weasel the puck away. Wranglers cycle around towards the near side wall. Antiatiri pinching down, steals it away towards the middle. Kravalek can't rip a shot away as Jeffers was in the area. And Drew Jeffers will backhand it towards the far side wall where Puukkonen can't get it out. Test towards the goal, and it goes wide. Antiatiri, the first man on it, towards the slot, goes off a stick, and it careens wide to the left of McDonough. Papaspropoulos, first man on it. Wranglers trying to get out of their own zone, and this time they will. Papaspropoulos with speed, gains the center red line. Into attacking territory. Papaspropoulos doing it all as in the near corner of the Brahmas zone. Wranglers flip the script. Left side, Colin Doherty. Back around towards the right point. Kyle DeMarco gains possession, but looks like Antiatiri is down again. 3:47 to go in the first, and they have blown the play dead. And looks like Roman Zapp is going to go to the penalty box.
The goal is number 89, Roman Zapp. He will enter the Lucas Funeral penalty coffin.
So, looks like the penalty is high, sticking to Zapp.
Game misconduct for high sticking.
And it looks like he's received a misconduct of some sorts. And he will exit. And it is a game misconduct, as it is a 5-minute major against Roman Zapp. So Wranglers lose one of their leading point scorers in Roman Zapp, and also have to kill off a 5-minute power play. This is huge. You want to talk about a turning point in the game? This is it. Wranglers are going to be without the services of Roman Zapp for the remainder of the game. Kill off a 5-minute major. Looks like Trace Day will serve Zapp's sentence. Oof. Wranglers win the defensive zone draw, and Colin Doherty will sky it back down to Brahma territory for the opening clear of the 5-minute major. So for the Wranglers, I guess it's a good thing that they dressed an extra forward. As now with Zapp out of the game, we'd still roll 4 lines. As Murakami around, slowed down by McDonough. Fans get loud here at NYTEX. Zavernyuk, near corner, turns towards his forehand, all alone, left point for Murakami. Across, Bryce Ingles holds to Murakami. Left side, Zavernyuk, top of the circle, trying to go back across for Ingles. At the line, Murakami, back to Ingles' right point. Murakami again towards the goal, blocked out in front. Ingles towards the center, McDonald. Left wing, Zavernyuk, shot on goal, saved made by McDonough, and Ben Ivy can't locate the puck. Brahmas retain possession. Murakami near half wall, Zavernyuk. Back to Murakami, across for Ingles. Patiently, back up to the line. Murakami fakes the shot, left circle, Zavernyuk shooting, and a save made by McDonough, and he will freeze with help from Doherty. 2:29 remaining in the first, 3:42 remaining on the 5-minute major. So good work there on the opening moments of the penalty kill for the Wranglers. Connor McDonough making a few key saves as well. Scoreless game here from NYTEX Sports Centre. Puukkonen will duel with Bergeron. Puck is loose off the draw. Puukkonen towards it. Play goes towards the corner. And Wranglers get it to the line, but not out. Glove down by James. Atiri at the line. Across. Brock James skates in. Stops. Back to Atiri. High slot. James right side to Atiri again. Atiri back to James. Those two continue to play catch. Now Borak gets in the fray, left side. Down low for Kerr, being checked by Williams. Backhands it towards the slot, pops out high for Atiri. Down low, and the Wranglers are able to sweep it away on that chance as Brock James was lurking in the slot. Far corner, Kerr to James. At the line, Atiri. Back to James, he'll skate in and looking for a tip in out in front. Wasn't going to have it. Wranglers in position defensively. Atiri. Left point. Brahmas looking for a couple of quick passes. Wranglers are quick to sniff it out, but they can't get it out. Brock James, right circle, stops to Atiri at the line. Back to James. He'll shoot, and his shot goes wide of the net. Borak near side at the half wall. Down low, couple quick passes, and Bergeron whips a shot wide of the net. He was wide open for the chance, just missed the mark. 1:06 remaining in the first period, 2:17 to go on the Brahma power play. Puck up in the air, glove down by Ben Ivy. And the Wranglers will pitch it back down towards Rolovs, get another clear here. Looks like Drew Jeffers was the one who got the job done. Left side, McDonald exchanges with Ingles. Drop pass for Zavrenyuk, and he's got speed. Winds it around, McDonough slows it down, and he will send it back out to center. Might have hit the stick of Jack Ivy in the process, but a good read there from the Wranglers goalie to get another pivotal clear in the late stages of the first period. Lone Star with time winding down in the first period. Zavrenyuk with speed towards his right, gets stood up by Bryce Cooper, and Cooper will free the puck away and send it back down. Wranglers get another big clear there. Good play by Bryce Cooper. As play gets chippy here. Lone Star maybe one last chance on the power play before time runs out. Bergeron looking for Ingles at center, and he gets checked, and time will run out on the first period. And so after 20 minutes of play, we are scoreless here in Brahmaland. A couple of penalties on the board. We'll talk all about it in the first intermission as the Wranglers head off. Having killed a majority of that 5-minute manger, only 1 minute and 13 seconds remain on that. Wranglers will have to kill that at the top of the second period. Otherwise, a job well done from the Wranglers. Shot count reads 9-7 in favor of Lone Star. We'll recap all the events of the first period coming up next on the first intermission report. Don't go anywhere. Wranglers Hockey will be right back in just a few minutes on the Wranglers Hockey Network.
This is Topi Puikkonen, and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome in to the first intermission report live from NYTEX Sports Centre, where it is the Wranglers and Brahmas scoreless after 20 minutes of play. I am Guy Chiarenza. An interesting matchup so far. Certainly couldn't have predicted this after what we saw last couple of times these two teams met over in Amarillo. No scoring throughout the first period, not for lack of chances. Both teams had a lot of chances to get that first goal of the game. Wranglers had a few power play opportunities as we're able to kill off a penalty early on in the first period. As Bryce Cooper went to the box, no problem for the Wranglers penalty kill. They've been stout so far this season, and they continue to get the job done. As got the kill on the Cooper penalty, and then the Wranglers had 3 power play chances of their own, including an abbreviated 5-on-3 opportunity. Although they weren't able to capitalize on those chances, the Wranglers did have some prime scoring chances throughout the course of the first period. And then later on, with 3:47 to go in the first, a bit of a turning point in the game early on, as Roman Zapp got a 5-minute major and a game misconduct for high sticking. And it looked like he caught Anthony Atiri up high. Atiri goes down, and the officials ruled that his sentence is a 5-minute major and a game misconduct. So Roman Zapp is out of the game. He will not return. And so you look at the Wranglers lineup, and that's a big loss. As Zapp this season is one of the Wranglers' leading point scorers, as he is tied with Topi Pukkanen with 20 points on the year for the team lead. So Pukkanen and Zapp getting the work done for the Wranglers offensively. Wranglers are going to be without number 89 for the rest of the night. Zapp this season has 9 goals, 11 assists for 20 points in 24 games. They will be without his services, and so for the Wranglers and head coach Ryan Anderson, he got some interesting stuff to look at here in the first intermission. We'll see what he does here in the second period. I'm quite interested to see what the decision is here from the coaching staff. Good news for the Wranglers is that they did dress an extra forward, so Trace Day will slide up into that top forward lines for the Wranglers somewhere. Question is what does Ryan Anderson do in shuffling around the lines? Does he elect to put Connor McNaughton up on that second line with Pukkanen and Papaspropoulos? Just have Luke Morris slide up and then maybe move Trace Day somewhere. I think there's been times this season where we've seen Morley Phillips play as a center. We've also seen Grayson Gerhardt taking faceoffs for the Wranglers throughout the course of this game. So maybe for the Wranglers, that's what they do, is maybe they just move up Connor McNaughton, slide Morley Phillips over into a center role, maybe move Luke Morris to the wing, or have Trace Day move up into that wing role. It'll be interesting to see what the Wranglers do here in the second period, but Ryan Anderson certainly has a lot of work on his hands in terms of juggling the lines here in this first intermission, as Zapp is no longer available for the Wranglers this evening. But on that 5-minute major, which still has 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining on it, which is currently being served by Trace Day, by the way, as Zapp is out of the game. The Wranglers have killed it off so far. Only 1 minute and 13 seconds remain. Still a scoreless game. Connor McDonough making big-time saves when he's needed, but Wranglers defense doing a really good job of anticipating plays, really being in the right place at the right time. It seems like they're letting the Brahmas really move the puck around, but letting them kind of play with it, but pouncing on them at the last second. Looks like Lone Star's trying to fit in a bit too many passes, looking for that perfect shooting lane, and I think that's exactly what the Wranglers want them to do. They want the Brahmas to be forced into making those errors, and so far the Wranglers doing a good job of that. They've killed off that penalty so far. Of course, they kill off the Cooper penalty early on in the first period. So for the Wranglers, they're looking to be in good shape if they can kill this penalty off, as the shot count reads 9-7 in favor of Lone Star. This is a Brahmas team that likes to outshoot their opponents and likes to outshoot them by a wide margin. As this season, the Brahmas averaged 29 shots for per game and only about 22.7 against per game. So you figure if the Wranglers can go neck to neck with the Brahmas in terms of the shot count here tonight, they have a good chance of putting some goals up on the board. And if you're able to put some goals up against the Lone Star Brahmas, good chances you come away with a win. But I think the first goal of the game is going to be huge, especially with the first goal of the game likely coming in the second period, maybe later on. The first goal of the game is going to be big. We talked about it in the open. We'll talk about it again. Lone Star Brahmas this season, when scoring the first goal, have a record of 16-1-0-1. I mean, that's just unprecedented. That's just That's unreal. And so it seems like whenever the Brahmas get that first goal, they really are in control of the game. They can kind of just sit back and play at their own pace, really attack the game the way that they want to, play their style of game. And so far this season, it's worked out really well for them. When they don't score first, 3-5-0-1. So if the Wranglers can get that first goal here tonight, it's going to pay big dividends for a Wranglers team that would much rather like to play with the lead as opposed to playing from behind. And so far this season, the Wranglers, when scoring the first goal, are 9-1 and 4-7-3 when they trail first. So seems like that first goal of the game has big implications, and so we'll see who the Wranglers can, what the Wranglers can muster up here in the second period if they are able to get that kill on the penalty. We'll talk about who might be that one to step up for the Wranglers, get that first goal in the second period or maybe the third period, somewhere along the line in this game. And we'll look forward to second period action, look at some scores from around the league when we come back on the first intermission report on the Wranglers Hockey Network. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to the first intermission report, where it is a scoreless game deep in the heart of Brahma land. Wranglers still have 1 minute and 13 seconds to kill off the zap penalty, currently being served by Trace Day to start the second period. But look at the Wranglers lineup, and especially in the absence of Roman Zapp, you got to look and see who might be that first goal scorer of the game. We talked about how big that goal might be in terms of coming away with the victory. Look up and down the lineup and trying to see who that might score that first goal. As if you're listening in on NATV or our YouTube audio stream, if you're on YouTube, go over to our chat box, comment down below who you think is going to score the first goal of the game for the Wranglers. And if you're listening on NATV, you can head on over to our Facebook page, comment down below under the game day post who you think is going to score the first goal of the game for the Wranglers. And if you guess correctly, I'll give you an on-air shout-out. So, as I look to make my pick, a lot of good names here for the Wranglers. And, you know, Roman Zapp was on the tear coming into this game. 3 goals in his last 2 games played. That's a big loss for the Wranglers, having him out of the lineup for the rest of the evening. I think a big-time player that the Wranglers need a little bit more from recently, and we know he can produce at a high level, and that's Topi Pukkanen. This is a guy that is right up there with Roman Zapp in terms of the team lead for points so far this season, as he also has 20 to Zapp's 20. Pukkanen this season, 9 goals, 11 assists for 20 points, although he's been scoreless in his last 4 games. It's been a little bit of a struggle for him so far, but he has been noticeable here in this game. I think especially on the power play, Topi Pukkanen have been putting in good work. And really, it's in terms of those puck battles along the boards, I think that's where he really excels. Topi Pukkanen is a really big forward, standing at 6'3", 205 pounds. The Finnish forward really seems to excel at taking the puck away in those puck battles along the boards. And we'll see how he fares here in the second period, but I'm going to go with Pukkanen to score the first goal of the game. That's going to be my pick, although I really like what Ben and Jack Ivey have done so far here in the first period. I think Jack Ivey would probably be my number 2 pick, but I think it's time for Topi Pukkanen to break out of his funk. I think he gets that first goal of the game for the Wranglers. But Jack Ivey has also been buzzing so far in the first period. I actually want to see how many shots Jack Ivey took and was credited for in the first period, and lo and behold, he leads all Wrangler skaters with 3. The next closest is 1 from a couple of other players on the team. So Jack Ivey leading the team in shots through 1 period of play. Not really a surprise to me, considering he already leads the team in shots throughout the course of the season coming into this game. But he's also a guy that in the first period seemed to really be playing with a lot of confidence. Really did not hesitate to throw the puck on goal when given the chance. And so you see the 3 shots on the board for Jack Ivey so far tonight. Not a surprise to me, and it really seems like he's firing at all cylinders. I think he's a good pick to get that first goal of the game as well. So see what happens here in the second period. As the coaches come back out towards the bench, got Ryan Anderson, the head coach for the Wranglers, in his first season behind the bench, with the assistant coach Connor Yanni, also in his first year behind the bench for the Wranglers. As they have led the Wranglers to a record of 13-8-3, 29 points on the year, good enough for 4th place in the South Division, but we know how crowded this division can be with some other games going on this evening. Peek in at the South Division standings as they stand currently. Wranglers are in a 3-way tie for 3rd place in the South Division with the Shreveport Mudbugs and the New Mexico Ice Wolves. And it looks like both of those teams are in action here tonight, as action over at Blazers Ice Center between the Ice Wolves and the Warriors. Scoreless game at the top of the second period. El Paso and Odessa going at it over Ector County Coliseum. Wranglers will be there in, 2 weeks for a 3-game set against the Odessa Jackalopes. Jackalopes leading that game against the Rhinos 3-0 midway through the second period. So maybe Odessa's on the upswing. Of course, the aforementioned Shreveport Mudbugs are in action against the Corpus Christi Ice Rays over at American Bank Center in Corpus Christi. And the Ice Rays have a 2-1 lead after 1 period of play. So that's certainly, if that score holds up, that'll be a welcome sight for Wrangler fans. course, that Odessa score, if that holds as well, would also be big for the Wranglers. But, of course, for the Wranglers, you got to take care of business, and you got to find a way to win here against the Lone Star Brahmas. Big 2 points on the line here tonight. And you got second period action coming up in just a few minutes, as we'll step aside for one last time. And on the other side of the break, we'll have second period action here from Lone Star. Don't go anywhere. This is the Wranglers Hockey Network. We'll be back in 1 minute.
This is Topi Puikkonen, and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to NYTEX Sports Centre, where both teams have retaken the ice, and we are ready to go for second period action from Brahmaland, as the Wranglers will skate from right to left wearing their road blue uniforms. Brahmas from left to right wearing their home whites. Brahmas will be on the power play for the next minute and 13 seconds to start the period. Wranglers have done a good job so far on the kill, but knock on wood, still got a ways to go before they get that kill done. And away we go for second period action. Draw is won by Lone Star, and they look to giddy up here on the power play. Starting the charge is Matthias Borak with speed into the Wranglers zone. Gets stood up by DeMarco. Poke check by Jack Ivey. Headed to the line but not out. Brock James high slot skates in, takes a shot. Blocked out in front by Gagnon. And make that Doherty, and it rolls in on McDonough, and he will cover. 20 seconds in. Seems like the Wranglers are doing a really good job of blocking shots as well throughout the course of this game. Latest guy getting the job done in that department, Colin Doherty. His family is in attendance. Came all the way down to Brahmaland to watch their son play. Always nice catching up with the Doherty family. As Brahmas win the draw in the Wranglers zone at the line. Borak towards his left to Atiri. He's a lefty shot down to Borak towards the middle, and fanning on the shot there is Bergeron. Another chance is blocked by the Wranglers and sent back out towards the Brahmas zone. Another job well done for the Wranglers. Penalty kill, maybe one last chance here for Lone Star on the power play with 28 seconds remaining on that. As Atiri chips it towards himself down the right wing wall. Up to the right point, James across. Bergeron to James, down low. Borak towards the middle, and a chance there by Atiri goes wide. Bouncing puck corralled to the left point by Bergeron. And get a whistle with 11 seconds remaining on the Lone Star power play. Minute and 2 seconds into the second period. Looks like the draw is going to stay in the Wranglers zone to the right of McDonough. Lone Star wins that. Shot by Ingles, paddled away by McDonough. And he'll go behind the net. Charlie Masick, checked by Williams. Wranglers racing towards the puck. It's Pukin and poking it away, and he gets it back out to center. Back to even strength. Trace Day sees the puck glance off his stick as it goes right into the stands to my left. Looks like everybody's okay, as that puck had some steam on it, some serious heat. And it looks like after all that, Lucky Kid's going to come away with a souvenir. Meanwhile, this draw will be in the neutral zone across from the Wranglers bench on the near side. Ben Ivy will take it out there with Jack Ivy and McDonald. So now that we're back to even strength, it'll be interesting to see what line combos Ryan Anderson and Connor Yanni will field out here for the remainder of the game. As right wing, Jack Ivy drops it down low for McDonald, who hustles towards the puck. Beats Murakami to it. McDonald gets checked, finds Ben Ivy. Along the right side wall is intercepted by the Brahmas. Ben Ivy gets it back, throws it on goal, and a save made by Rolovs with the glove. And he'll hold with 18-16 remaining in the second period. Shots 12-7. Lone Star already taking the first two shots of the second period. Both of those coming on the power play. Draw to the left of Rolovs. Puck is corralled by Atiri. Murakami. Back to the left wing side for Borak. Pass goes off a skate, picked up by Stepanek, and he will leave it for Jeffers as the Wranglers look to calculate a breakout here. Papaspropoulos left side for Pukinen. He will twist it down low. Pukinen losing an edge as Stepanek finds the puck in the far corner. Papaspropoulos below the goal line, peeling away from the pressure of Atiri. He's got him up against the wall now. Puck battle here. Wranglers want a piece of that puck, trying to get it off the wall. And now finally Papaspropoulos trying to muscle it away. Looks like Murakami's going to come away with it, though, as the third-party trailer. As now Masick right side into Wrangler territory. Dishes it across, and a shot there is stopped by McDonough on Borak. Loose puck, and the Wranglers sweep it back out to the line, but not out. Held in by Eisenberg. Another chop out. It sends it back out to center. As Pukinen on the forecheck, battling with Emmons. Jopi Pukinen will get it below the goal line. He'll go off for a change. Dangerous chance there for Lone Star. McDonough comes up big. DeMarco down the left side wall. Goes by McNaughton. Rolovs will keep it moving. Phillips sorts the slot looking for Gerhard, and the pass was offline. Another good chance there for the Wranglers, and they come up empty-handed. It's from center red. The Wranglers try and dump it in. Instead, they get stood up by the Brahmas. But ping-ponging around is going to be fielded by Gerhard. He'll find Colin Doherty off the wall, looking to return it to Gerhard, and he's got him. Near corner around for Phillips, corner to corner. Now point to point, shot there by DeMarco. Is fought off by Rolovs, and they get it back out to center. Justin Kerr into attacking territory. A little dump and chase, battling with McNaughton. Connor McNaughton sends him towards the boards. Kerr keeps possession, dishes it towards his right. Capello to Bergeron, all alone. Keskentepi with a shot, fought off by McDonough, goes into the far corner, and the Wranglers will get it to the line. Held in, Brahmas down low, backhand chance goes wide of the net. And Gerhard gets it to the line, again held in. Kralovic shooting, and a save made by McDonough. A couple of big time chances there as McNaughton gets hauled down, and that'll draw a penalty for the Wranglers. They're going to go back to the power play. Looks like it's going to be Bo Kralovic. .405 into the second period. Be 2 minutes for roughing. Wranglers going to head to the power play. Have come up empty-handed 3 times so far. You know what they always say, though, 4 times the charm. Wranglers win the draw at the line. Gagnon towards his right, turns and shoots. Save made, puck is loose. Wranglers trying to jam it home, and it pops up into the air. You get a stoppage. Rolovs is flat on his back. All of that happening 8 seconds into the power play. Wranglers were trying to crash the net on the juicy rebound. I think Lone Star thinks that there should be a penalty here against the Wranglers. Doesn't look like they're going to get it, but it looks like they're going to move this draw back out to the neutral zone. Wranglers' top power play unit will stay out there for Lone Star. You've got Bergeron, Zadvernyuk, Ingles, and Keskentepe on the penalty kill. Ben Ivy wins the draw. Jack Ivy from the center ice logo finds Gagnon. And the Wranglers will look to break out here to start the next sequence of the power play. As Jack Ivy towards his left connects with McDonald. Return pass for Jack Ivy goes astray, and the Brahmas will get it back down towards McDonough for another clear. Gagnon, drop pass, looking for Jack Ivy. Has to gather himself to pick it up. He'll wind it down towards Rolovs, and he will do it himself and clear it down. With a minute 15 remaining on the Wrangler power play. Gagnon patiently going right down the middle. Pitches it towards his left. Stepanek for Papaspropoulos. Tries to return it for Stepanek. In the way is McDonald. The Brahmas once again clear it back out to center. Brahma power play operating at 88% coming into the game. Looking to get another kill here as Lone Star gets it to the line. Held in by DeMarco for the moment. Wranglers gain possession here. Papaspropoulos across. Jeffers, right point. Shoots, and it's saved by Rolovs. He will swallow that up and cover with 37 seconds of power play time remaining.
From 10U to the NAHL, each of our junior Brahmas are professionally trained by the staff at D1 Colleyville. If you want to be as good as a Brahma, contact Derek Michaels at D1 Colleyville.
Draw will be to the left of Rolovs. Far circle of the Brahmas zone. Second power play unit out there for the Wranglers. Papaspropoulos with Stepanek and McNaughton, Jeffers, and DeMarco as well. Brahmas fired it around, and they will get another clear as DeMarco wasn't able to hold it in on the near point. Jeffers with speed through center. Gets stood up at the Brahma blue line as he was bursting through with authority, and looks like it's going to be offside on the Wranglers. With 20 seconds remaining on the power play. 14-14 remaining in the second. Papaspropoulos will take this draw against Ivan Zadvernyuk. It's won by Lone Star. Keskentepe fumbles the puck for a little bit. Brahmas are able to bounce it off the near side wall and back down for another clear. That'll just about do it for the Wrangler power play. Jeffers for Papaspropoulos gains the red line. Now Brahma's blue. As Lone Star's Ingles will swing it around towards the near side wall. He's got Kralovec, and he'll race the other way. He's got Zadvernyuk in the slot. Tries to connect with him, and it's blocked there by Williams. Excellent read by Trey Williams, and that spurts Trace Day up ahead. And here he goes. Trace Day off to the races, bursting with speed. Gets met by three Brahmas. Lone Star will get it back out towards the Wranglers zone. Good hustle there, though, for number 44 in blue. Brahmas back on the attack. Justin Kerr, always dangerous, around the wall. Towards the far corner. Gagnon back out the center as it splits the D. Lone Star will regroup here. Ingles connects with Capello down the right wing on his backhand. Around the net. Capello still with it. Like a vulture at the top of the slot. Gets his pocket picked there by Trace Day. Another big play there from the rookie to stymie Capello, and the Wranglers looking for possession here. Once again, it's Trace Day muscling his way for that puck. McDonough there to help out, and Day gets checked on the near side wall. Brahmas towards the slot. Passes offline. Lone Star looking for a big chance there. It goes around. Near corner. Tess trying to peel away from Williams. Right point. Across. Shooting there. And McDonough makes the save on Emmons. Owen Kerr tumbles down to the ground. Brahmas. D to D. Right side. Tess. Top of the circle. Looks for a man in the middle for Bergeron. His shot It's off the stick of Chunchikov and out of play with 12:11 to go in the second period.
Geico will make the process of switching your insurance smoother than the ice inside the NYTEX Sports Centre. Geico.
Really like that last shift there from Trace Day, the rookie from Mesa, Arizona. Really pouring his heart and soul into that last shift. It seemed like he was everywhere. He was down deep in the Brahmas end, and then next thing you know, he was in the thick of the play in the Wranglers end. Excellent shift there for Trace Day. So this ensuing draw will be to the right of Connor McDonough. Wranglers win it. DeMarco trying to go D for D. Colin Doherty gets slammed there. Puck is taken away. And Gerhard will emerge from the pile with the puck. He gets back out to center. He'll backhand it deep into Brahma land as Murakami, first one on it, checked by Phillips. Gets it to Tess, near corner, battling with Doherty. Another big hit by Morley. Phillips sends Tess down to the ground. As Wranglers trying to pry the puck free. Instead, Murakami will come away with it and get it back out to center where it's flagged down by DeMarco. He will dump it down. He's jostling there with Bergeron. As Saxton Tess goes the other way, drop pass, he's got Kralovic dancing his way towards the bottom of the circle, and a save made by McDonough. And McNaughton finds Gerhard. Connects with Phillips in the neutral zone. He'll gain the red line and dump it down. Wranglers will get a wholesale change. Brock James towards his right. McDonald on the forecheck. Wranglers trying to pressure the Brahmas here in their own zone. Lone Star. Right wing pass connects with Hampstead. Below the goal line, twists it back down, looking for James. Ben Ivy in the way. Wranglers will clear. Jeffers, right wing attack, off the stick of Jack Ivy, picked up by Ben Ivy. Towards his right, McDonald shooting, fought off by Rolovs. Another chance off the side of the net. Cooper trying to hold it in. Instead, bounces around a bit. Brahmas will regroup in their own zone after they swat it back in from center. Teams exchanging possession here. Wranglers flip it in on Rolovs. He'll glove it and hold it with 10:25 to go in the second. Still a scoreless game from Brahmaland, but you look at the shot count, 17-14 in favor of Lone Star. Wranglers not far off the mark. They're sticking with it here in this game. Now you got Papaspropoulos, Stepanek, and Pukanen, so it looks like the Wranglers have moved up Stepanek towards that second line where Zapp would be, and now Papaspropoulos playing center with Pukanen on his left wing, Stepanek on his right. Ingles wins a defensive zone face-off. Wranglers quick to apply the heat here and try and get the puck back. Matthias Borak behind his net. Will survey the scene, send it towards his right for Ingles. Lifts it out to center. Fielded by Gagnon. He will dip and dive around here in his own zone. Get it back out to center, looking for Stepanek, and he will weasel his way into the attacking zone. Rips a shot, it's blocked by Keskin Tepe. Gagnon quick to pinch it down and hold it in. Wranglers on the forecheck, see Williams pinch. There's a battle for it on the near half wall, squeaks free, high slot, Papaspropoulos. Darts towards his left, throws it off the wall, nobody home. Turnover here and a chance for Papaspropoulos, poke checked away by Rolovs. And a big check by Gagnon on Masick at the Brahma blue line. Shot the other way, Zavernyuk's shot goes astray. Wranglers in the right place defensively, Pukanen on the other end. Top of the circle takes a shot, blocked by Emmons. Trace Day bursting into the scene with the puck. To the right point, connects with Morris, throws it towards the goal, goes off the end wall. And Brahmas will get it back out to center, but the Wranglers looking quickly to regroup here. There's DeMarco down the right wing wall, looks for Chunchikov. Emmons with the puck on his stick, finds Rizzo. Morris pinching down, gets possession back for the Wranglers. Lone Star trying to get out of their own zone, and they do. Kerr over the red line towards his right. He's got Capello. Back to Kerr. A shot goes over the net. Stays in play. Out center. He's out of the reach of Luke Morris. Rizzo They fired it around. McDonough slows it down. He's got Colin Doherty along the left wing wall. Wranglers back out to center. Brahmas reloading here as they will get a change. Wranglers with possession. McDonald takes a check as Chunchikov will slide it down low. Tommy Chunchikov sporting one of those new neck guards in light of the Adam Johnson tragedy. As puck is free at center, right in front of the scorer's table. Tess will come away with it. Around it goes, deep into the Wranglers zone. Bryce Cooper finds McDonald. Now Colin Doherty in space with Cooper in the middle. He'll gain the Brahma line. Bryce Cooper backhands it off the boards. Roloff's out to play it. McDonald for the Brahmas. To center, back to McDonald. Little chip towards himself. Brock James also in the area, but unfortunately for him, so is Bryce Cooper. Played well defensively by the Wranglers as Brahmas tried to swing it towards the slot. Poke check by McDonough. Papaspropoulos in the area as well. Turnover here. Brahmas with the chance. Murakami fakes a shot. Now shoots. It goes wide. Second chance scooped up by Lone Star. Brock James looses the puck to Papaspropoulos, and he'll quickly go the other way. Alex Papaspropoulos towards his right looking for Jack Ivey. Puck is batted bound. Ivey can't get the shot away though, as the Brahmas were in the right place at the right time. Play goes behind McDonough. Centering pass goes off the side of the net for Borak. Left point, Murakami across, connects with Ingles. He'll shoot, and it's swallowed up by McDonough, and he will hold. No rebound. 6:34 to go in the second period. Still a scoreless game from NYTEX Sports Centre. Shots are 18-14 in favor of the Brahmas. Draw will be to the left of Connor McDonough. Near circle of the Wranglers zone. Borak against Gerhard. The Wranglers win it. Puck comes free. Brahmas looking to get a shot away. Wranglers in the area, and Gagnon will dump it into Brahma territory. In hot pursuit, Grayson Gerhard. Roloffs will play it. And the Wranglers will see the puck go back into their own zone. Good attempt there to generate something offensively here late in the second period. McNaughton gets stood up at the Brahma blue line. Wranglers will look to try again here, but the arm is raised on that last hit. Stops the clock, but 6:01 to go in the second period, and we'll see who it is. As after the play, Morley Phillips getting into it with Alex Keskentepe. We've seen Phillips drop the gloves before this season. He did it in New Mexico. And Morley Phillips is not the kind of guy you want to mess with. Standing at 6'4", 220 pounds, but looks like they're going to get Connor McNaughton as he'll go to the box.
That's 2 minutes, number 27, Connor McNaughton. Cross check. Dolanton, 3 or 2 minutes, and Lucas penalty coughing.
I'm going to get him 2 minutes for cross-checking, so that sends the Brahmas to the power play. The strong beat to the left of McDonough, near circle of the Wranglers zone. They look to get a big-time kill here in a scoreless game. About 6 minutes remaining in the second. Brahmas win it to the line. Borak in space to Atiri. Right side, James down towards the slot looking for Bergeron. It's directed wide. Bergeron down low. Backhands one towards the far half wall for Borak. He'll dip down low, find Kerr. Off the wall for James, right point. Atiri back to James, across. Borak skates in, shoots, and it goes wide. Wranglers crash the puck. James across for Borak. DeMarco's without his stick. As across, James shooting, and looks like he rang it off the iron. And the Wranglers will clear. 1:11 to go on the penalty to Connor McNaughton. 5:07 remaining in the second period. Brahmas were just inches away from taking a 1-0 lead as Brock James rang it off the post. Buchanan trying to take away the puck here short-handed, something that we usually see one of the Ivy brothers doing. There's Bryce Ingles cautiously to his own blue line, leaves it for Zavernyuk. And now here he goes with speed. Zavernyuk towards his right, goes around Cooper, stops in the corner. McDonald across from Murakami. A shot goes off a stick and out of play. 30 seconds remaining on the Lone Star power play. 4:30 to go in the second period. This ensuing draw will be to the right of Connor McDonough. Jack Ivy wins the draw. Drew Jeffers will sky into the air, but not out of the zone. Brahmas come away with the puck. Driving towards the net was Hamstead. Puck is knocked off his stick. Goes to Zavernyuk on the far wall. Down low. Connects with Hamstead. Right circle. Murakami. The high slot for Ingles, and his shot goes wide. And back to Hamstead in the slot. Throws it towards his left. Zavernyuk through the blue paint and had McDonough down, but wasn't able to finish. Back to 5-on-5 as the puck bouncing in the slot, picked up by Ben Ivy. He will bounce it off the far wall and out to center. Another big kill for the Wranglers. Still a scoreless game late stages of the second period. Left side Kerr battling with Jeffers. Gets stood up there by Bryce Cooper. Big hit for the Wranglers. As Justin Kerr was threatening, Bryce Cooper wasn't having any of it. Wranglers will ice the puck here with 3:22 to go in the second period. Shot count reads 19-14 in favor of the Brahmas. This draw will be back down in the Wranglers zone to the right of McDonough, far circle of the Wranglers zone as you see it on NATV. Ben Ivy will take this draw against Justin Kerr, and Ben Ivy wins it, although Brahma's quick to jump on the puck. We get a stoppage with 3:18 to go in the second. Looks like the puck went out of play, so pretty much just do that draw over again, except this time the Wranglers are able to get fresh bodies on the ice, so they will take full advantage of that opportunity. As new men come on. Trace Day slotting into that fourth line with Chunchikov and Morris. He's made his impact felt here for the Wranglers this evening. As Williams around to the near side wall for Chunchikov. Puck comes off the half wall, back to Chunchikov, and he will get it back out to center, where Bergeron will field it. Fumbles the puck, almost loses it there to the forecheck of Trace Day. Boy, is he putting in good work on the forecheck here tonight. Here he goes again, as he's pestering Saxton Tess in the left corner. Emmons comes away with the puck, being hounded there by Day, as Bergeron escapes with the puck. Off the wall looking for Tess. Pass goes over his glove. Wranglers with it now. Luke Morris darting around the neutral zone. He's got Trey Williams. Left side, Chunchikov top of the circle, and a shot there. His glove down by Rolovs, and he pushes Williams after the whistle, and chaos ensues. Looked like after Rolovs made that save, you saw Trey Williams, who was crashing the net, took offense to it, just gave Williams a shove. With 2:32 to go in the second period. And afterwards, Papaspropoulos barking at Rolovs. For the Wranglers, got to be careful here. Don't want to take another penalty, but you also got to remember Deves Rolovs is one of those goaltenders that can get heated very easily, as we've seen from time to time this season. If the Wranglers can find a way to get inside his head, really get him flustered, it might open the door for some scoring chances here. So keep an eye on that. This play starting to get physical. Neutral zone draw won by Lone Star. Murakami collides with James, gets it up ahead for Hampstead. James along the left wing wall, centers it towards the middle, nobody home except for Colin Doherty. Bodies rock along the near side glass of the Wranglers zone. Brahmas trying to dig it down deep. Hampstead being stood up by Colin Doherty. Play goes towards the far corner. Hampstead back in the fray, loses the puck, trips up Stepanek, and no call. Pukkanen rumbles into the attacking zone, spins at the near half wall, twists it around towards the right side wall for Stepanek. He'll whip it towards the goal, looking for Pukkanen on the redirection. Pass was offline. Doherty below the goal line. Stepanek is there, but we get a stoppage with 1:43 to go in the second. Wranglers will get new bodies out there. Top line goes back out. McDonald and the Ivy twins. Defensively, Cooper and Jeffers. Then Ivy will take this draw. Brahmas holding a conference in the slot. Now they break apart. Looks like it'll be McDonald taking the draw against Ben Ivy. Ben Ivy wins this draw. McDonald towards the slot, turning, shooting off a body. Might have hit Jack Ivy. As Jack Ivy, another chance, throws it towards the goal. He gets dumped down at the blue line. Wranglers wind it down again. Hampstead in the corner. Help from his teammates will lift it back out to center. Cooper away from Borak, who was threatening. Minute and 19 seconds to go in the second period. Cooper. McDonald being disruptive at center. Wranglers force it to dump it down, and now Jeffers sticks breaks. He'll just go off. And his right side, Charlie Masick darts towards the middle. To his left, got Zavernyuk shooting from the circle, fought away by McDonough. And now pass across is intercepted by Jack McDonald. Tries to go the other way. Quick little flip as he gets stood up by Ingles, and now he gets thrown down well away from the play. And that immediately warrants a whistle. Now afterwards, things get chippy. McDonald's back up to his feet. Looks like Morley Phillips taking offense. He wants to go with Keskintepi. Officials will break that up. Looks like Bryce Ingles is going to go to the box. And they're going to get McDonald as well. So looks like we could be headed to 4-on-4 here. I'm not quite sure what the call is on McDonald. So they're going to get Ingles 2 minutes for cross-checking. Jack McDonald gets 2 minutes for holding. Well, that'll send us to 4-on-4 action here in Brahma land. So ice will open up a little bit. Perhaps we'll get our first goal of the game. Might happen on the other side of the second period, though, as just 40 seconds remain in period 2. Lone Star through center. Brock James down the left wing. Drops it down for Murakami. Deep into Wrangler territory. Murakami, right corner. Gets it up to the point for Atiri. Across. One-timer from James is fought off by McDonough. Second chance, and they score. Justin Kerr tapped it home. And the Brahmas, with a goal in 4-on-4 action, break the ice. Well, was it a brilliant initial save from Connor McDonough? Unfortunately, the rebound was loose. Looked like it deflected off of the stick of Kerr, who was waiting in the slot. Nothing McDonough could have done about it. And that gives us the first goal of the game, coming at 4-on-4. 24.5 seconds remaining in the second period. Wranglers will look to bounce back. Shot count now reads 21-15 in favor of Lone Star. And so Jack Ivey out there with Ben Ivey, Gagnon, and DeMarco. For the ensuing draw, Ben Ivey will take it against Connor Bergeron. Puck goes the Wranglers' way. Time ticking down here in the second period. As Gagnon patiently from his own zone meanders his way towards center. Soft pass for Jack Ivey is sniffed out by Zadvernyuk, and the Brahmas go the other way. Bergeron for Zadvernyuk, shooting, and a save made by McDonough right at the horn. So after 40 minutes of play, it's the Lone Star Brahmas 1 and the Wranglers nothing. Only goal of the game coming at 24.5 seconds remaining in the second period from Justin Kerr. And that's where we stand. After 2 periods of play, we'll recap all the scoring and all the events of the first 2 periods. Look ahead towards the third period. Check in on some scores from around the league on the second intermission report coming up next on the Wranglers Hockey Network. We'll be back in just a few minutes from Brahmaland. Don't go anywhere.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome into the second intermission report, where the Wranglers trail the Lone Star Brahmas by the score of 1-0. After 40 minutes of play, I'm Guy Chiarenza here in Brahma land, and looks like we were headed towards a scoreless second intermission until 24 seconds remaining in the second period. Justin Kerr scores on the 4-on-4 to give the Brahmas the 1-0 lead. For Kerr this season, this is his ninth goal of the year. Now has 23 points in 28 games. Was scoreless in his last 3. He gets back on the board here tonight against the Wranglers, as the Brahmas do score the first goal of the game. They're 16-1, 0-1 when they do so. Wranglers looking to change the narrative here tonight, as they played strong through the first 2 periods. Just haven't been able to find a goal to go their way. Something tells me good fortune goes their way here in the third period, as the Wranglers have been knocking on the door throughout the course of this game. Had a few power play chances so far. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten one to go their way. Wranglers are 0 for 5 on the man advantage, or excuse me, 0 for 4 on the man advantage here tonight. Looks like the Brahmas are 0 for 3. Of course, you had that 5-minute major in to Roman Zapp at the tail end of the first period that sent him out of the game. Guess it's a good thing the Wranglers dressed an extra forward, as Zapp got the game misconduct for high sticking. Wranglers were able to kill off the 5-minute major, but they are without the services of one of their leading point scorers for the remainder of the evening. Looked like for the Wranglers, they slid Alex Papaspropoulos over towards the center role and moved Alex Stepanek up on the wing from the third line up to that second line. So your second line now looks like Pukkanen, Papaspropoulos, and Stepanek. Looks like Morley Phillips has now gone up to that third line. So we've got Gerhard, McNaughton, and Phillips. And your fourth line in that second period looked like Tommy Chunchikov, Luke Morris, and Trace Day. I was really impressed with the play of Trace Day throughout the course of the second period. This is one of those moments where Zapp goes out of the game. You need a guy to step up, and really liked what the rookie was able to bring to his game here for the Wranglers. I think he was very noticeable, not just on the forecheck in the second period, but also on the back check as well. It seemed like he was moving with a lot of speed, playing with a lot of heart, a lot of passion. There were moments in that second period where it was like 1 second he was deep into the Brahmas zone, applying heat on the forecheck, and then next thing you knew, he was back down in the Wranglers zone, blocking shots and stealing the puck away. So really big period there for Trace Day. They're going to need everything from him and really the entire core of the Wranglers here in this third period if they want to come away with a victory. This is one of those games where it's shaping up to be a close one, and we know what that means. It means that it's going to come right down to the wire. And then, of course, we're sitting here saying, of course it is. I mean, that's your typical Wranglers game. As this season, the Wranglers have played their fair share of close games. They're 11-2-3 in games decided by 1 or 2 goals. Only 2 of the Wranglers' 13 wins this season have come by a 3+ goal margin. Both of those coming over at the NHL Showcase in Blaine, Minnesota. Wranglers are 5-2 in overtime, 3-0 in the shootout. So, I mean, you think about it, and if the Wranglers can find a way to push this game to overtime at least, there's a good chance that they can come away with a victory. This is kind of something that is reminiscent of what we saw in El Paso last weekend, where close game, Wranglers down by 1 entering the third. This feels like your typical Wranglers game. I mean, this is nothing new that we've seen this season. I mean, this is game, I believe this is game 25 for the Wranglers this season. So we're approaching the halfway mark, and we've seen a lot of games of this nature, and good thing for the Wranglers is it seems like these are games that they typically win. Now, the problem here tonight is that they're playing one of the top teams in the league, if not the top team in the league, in the Lone Star Brahmas. This is a team that, if they get the lead, they are very, very good about clamping down, holding that lead, and coasting to victory. This is the Brahmas team that not too long ago did pick up a 1-0 victory. I believe it was against the Oklahoma Warriors. I will double-check that right now, but the Brahmas are one of those teams that they get that first goal of the game, and they really set if they want to be. This is a team that can score. This is also a team that can defend. As you look at the Brahmas statistics this season, again, we talked about being 16-1, 0-1 when they score first, but they also like to outshoot their opponent as well, averaging about 29 shots per game. They're on par to break that mark here tonight with 23 shots on the board to the Wranglers' 15. The Brahmas, when leading after 2, they're perfect 13-0. So for the Wranglers, they have some work to do, but something tells me that if any team is going to break that perfect mark for the Brahmas when leading after 2, it's got to be the Amarillo Wranglers, right? I mean, this just feels like one of those games that the Wranglers come back and find a way to salvage at least a point in. And, I mean, you look throughout the lineup, they got the playmakers to do it. Of course, you would want Roman Zapp to be in this game for the Wranglers. Fortunately, he's not, so somebody's got to step up. Looks like Trace Day is doing well in that department. So for the Wranglers, it's just about finding a way to get that next goal home. They've had their fair share of good opportunities here in the first and second periods, but got to tip your hat to Deves Roloffs. He's played quite well throughout the course of this game, as has Connor McDonough. We can't disregard what McDonough's done so far in this game. Stopped a breakaway attempt earlier on in the second period, and a couple key saves there. One of the Wranglers were short-handed to keep the game scoreless. Connor McDonough also doing a good job to keep the Wranglers in this game, and so looks like it's going to come right down to the nitty-gritty. Now, from what I remember the last time the Wranglers were here at NYTEX Sports Centre, a couple games that the Wranglers lost here early on in the season, when the Wranglers are a much different team now than they are back then. But the point of what I'm getting at is in those games, the Wranglers were, from what I remember, either a goal or 2 goals behind the Brahmas entering the third period. Like, the games were close. The games were very, very close. And the problem for the Wranglers was that in the third period, they kind of just let the game slip away. They kind of let the Brahmas take control of the game, dictate the terms, and because of that, the Brahmas kind of just coasted the victory. I think it's imperative that the Wranglers come out here in the third period and play to their standards, play their style of game, and play their way. This is something that we see teams try and execute time and time again. You got to be a good team to do it. That's what Lone Star does, is they go out, they dictate the terms, and they win games. The stats speak for themselves. Their play speaks for themselves. But for the Wranglers, you got to come out here. You got to set the tone. I think you need a guy like Morley Phillips to go out there and maybe throw a big hit. Somebody go out there, throw a big hit, really set the tone here in the third period. I think the Wranglers need to go out quickly and establish the energy, establish the tone. They can't just sit back and kind of let this game play out in front of them. The Wranglers have to take the game and really just have it their way. Go out there, play your style, get a jump on the Brahmas early, catch them napping. Who knows? You can get that game-tying goal at the top of the third period. All remains to be seen here in the third period, but I really do think it is big that the Wranglers come out and really play hard for the first 5 minutes or so here in the third period. I think the first couple of shifts here are really going to dictate how this third period is going to go, because the more time wears on, the more the game falls into the laps of the Lone Star Brahmas. And the Wranglers just can't have that happening. So Wranglers need to tie this thing up quickly. If they do that, they're in good shape. And all will follow in the third period. We'll step aside for a couple more minutes here on the second intermission report. When we come back, we'll take a look at some scores from around the league. It is a busy night in the South Division, and there's a lot of implications at stake. So we'll check in on those scores from around the world of the North American Hockey League when we come back on the Wranglers Hockey Network, on NATV and YouTube. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is Topi Puikkonen and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to NYTEX Sports Centre. Second intermission report rolls on with the Brahmas ahead by the score of 1-0. One shot is all it takes for the Wranglers to tie this thing up, as we're about 3 minutes away from second period action here in Brahma land. As we're looking on some scores from around the North American Hockey League, it is a busy night in the league. We got 8 teams in the South Division in action here tonight. Some of these scores have some seeding implications in the South Division. As we're getting around Christmas time, happy holidays, by the way. We're getting around Christmas time, and that means we really got to start paying attention towards the standings. As after Christmas, we'll be well into the second half of the season. That's really where you start to see teams kind of settle into their spots in the division. All right, so over at Blazers Ice Center, it's a tie game between the Ice Wolves and the Warriors, all knotted up at 1 at the top of the third period. So New Mexico wins. They will vault to 31 points and go up ahead, potentially into second place, if El Paso loses. If Oklahoma wins, they'll go to 28 and they'll stay in 6th. Over at Exeter County Coliseum, El Paso Rhinos and the Odessa Jackalopes going at it. Look at this. The Odessa Jackalopes have a 2-0 lead over the El Paso Rhinos with 5:30 remaining in the third period. Odessa getting goals from Thomas Wright and Matvey Ivanov. That would be a big upset if the Jackalopes are able to pull that off. That would hold the Rhinos at second place with 30 points. Jacks would move to 24 points, stay in 7th. So it would be pretty big for the Wranglers if the Jackalopes could get that upset win, and the Wranglers were able to win here tonight. Be able to either tie with a standing point with a loss in overtime or a shootout, or go ahead of the Rhinos with a victory. And over at American Bank Center, the Corpus Christi Ice Rays taking on the Shreveport Mudbugs. Mudbugs with a 4-2 lead over the Ice Rays in the second intermission. So look at the standings. If that score holds, Shreveport would also go to 31. So you think about the two teams that Wranglers are tied with here for third place in the division. They're both winning right now. So if they both win and the Wranglers lose, then they're 2 points back of the Mudbugs and the Ice Wolves, and then 1 point back of the Rhinos. That would send the Wranglers to 5th place. So a lot on the line here in Brahma land, as it's night in, night out. Always a big 2 points on the line. Today is no different, as the Wranglers looking to take down the Brahmas here in enemy territory. See if they can get it done, as the Wranglers and Brahmas have retaken the ice. As we are just moments away from third period action from NYTEX. Shots are 23-15 in favor of Lone Star. But again, one shot is all it takes. Wranglers need to find a way to beat these roll-offs here in the third period. Still 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4 that Justin Kerr scored earlier on in that 4-on-4 action late in the second period. So, here we go. Are you ready? I know I am, as Ben Ivey will lean in to take this draw against Justin Kerr. And away we go for third period action from Brahma land. As Justin Kerr back out to center. Atiri, drop pass for Kerr. Left side, Murakami steps into the attacking zone. He'll drop it down behind McDonough. Gagnon can't get it out. Right point, James across. Atiri, top of the circle. Back to James. Tries to go around Jack Ivey, instead fumbles the puck. Gets possession back, though, as he'll retreat back out to center. Jack Ivey still in pursuit. Steals the puck away for a moment, and now he's got it. Jack Ivey back for Gagnon. And the Wranglers will be patient in their own zone. Looks like Drew Jeffers will start the breakout. Still 24 seconds of 4-on-4 time remaining, as fans getting restless here in Brahma land. Stretch pass connects with McNaughton, although it glances off his stick, goes to Emmons. He will play it up ahead. You got Brahma land, Rhino country. Maybe got to call Budweiser bullpen Wrangler world. As now Masick dancing around on the far circle. Tries to split the Wranglers D. Tall task as they're back to even strength. Puck bouncing, goes towards the near corner. Colin Doherty will peel away from the pile. Masick stepping on his heels as Wranglers able to get back up to center. Puukkonen down the left wing, goes around Borak. Puukkonen behind the goal, wrap around towards the near corner. Gagnon, right point, a blast, and that one goes wide. Held in left point by Colin Doherty. He'll dig it deeper as Topi Puukkonen, right corner. Goes around Emmons. Backhand towards the goal, and puck is loose in the blue paint. Wranglers trying to dig at it and unable to do so. Got a whistle with 18:11 to go in the third period. What a play there from Topi Puukkonen, driving towards the net, trying to make something out of nothing, and he almost did. It's one of the things that he does so well is being strong on the puck and driving the net, creating those opportunities, and he's almost able to do it there. Defensive zone draw won by Zavernuk, but quick to pounce on it is Luke Morris. Below the goal line, gets some help from Trace Day. Day on his backhand, tries to center it, goes off his stick, left point. Williams gathers it and shoots it off the end wall. Wranglers jamming at it, and the net will come off its moorings, and so we get a stoppage and a scrum. 2 minutes and 4 seconds into the third. And again, we still have some more pushing and shoving, as now it looks like Charlie Emmons going at it in the corner. I believe that is Tommy Chonchikov also in the thick of it. My suspicions are correct, as those two are broken up. Looks like no penalty to be had on that sequence. I'm not sure what the delay is at the moment. Meanwhile, the net behind Roloffs is still off. And so now they'll get that fixed. So after all that, it'll be a draw to the right of Deeves Roloffs on the far circle of the Brahmas zone. Looks like Ben Ivy will take this draw against Brock James. And the draw is won by James. His stretch pass goes astray from Hampstead. McDonough out to play it towards the near side wall. Ben Ivy in the fray, pokes it along to Williams. Left wing breakout for the Wranglers. Love down at the line. Goes to Gagnon, up ahead, finds McDonald. Bank it off the wall for Ben Ivy down deep. Gets shouldered off the puck by Ingles. McDonald below the goal line. Ingles there as well. Ben Ivy throws a return check on Ingles. Wranglers trying to dig the puck away. The Lone Star is going to get it back out to center as Brock James will flick it into Amarillo territory. Brahmas get a full change here. Stretch pass, Jeffers looking for Jack Ivy, goes off his stick and deep into the Brahmas zone. Goes behind Roloffs. Murakami will wait as he looks to find an avenue to break out. Ray Murakami up ahead. Justin Kerr backhands it towards McDonough. There's his left, Papaspropoulos. Jeffers out of harm's way, gets it back out to center. Antti Atiri lofts it down towards the Wranglers zone. Drew Jeffers looks like he was cut off by the official. Wranglers trying to get the puck off the near side wall. Brahmas trying to drive towards the net. Kerr gets taken down, and the Wranglers come away with the puck. Stepanek through center, across, connects with Puukkonen. Wranglers looking to go the other way, but the whistle blows. Amarillo is offside.
Jaguars are proud to call the NYTEX Sports Centre their home. The Jaguars are proud members of the North American Floorball League, which consists of teams from
16:20 to go in the third period. Shots are 23-16 in favor of the Brahmas, but the Wranglers are knocking on the door looking for that next goal. I've had a couple of good sequences so far in the third period. And we talked about them really needing to set the tone here. Out comes that third line of Gerhard, McNaughton, and Phillips. DeMarco and Doherty on the blue line. As the draw is won by Lone Star. Antti finds Murakami. Over center red, he'll flick it down into the corner of the Wranglers zone. On him is DeMarco. Tess tries to send it back for Murakami. Still pinned up against the boards. Squeaks out towards the near side. Atiri meets it. Coming away with it is Colin Doherty. Tries to escape the pack. Throws a pivot on Tess to do so. DeMarco for Puukkonen. Gerhard right wing. He slams it down, and he gets thrown against the boards by Bo Kralovic. Wranglers on the forecheck. DeMarco holds it in. Wranglers send it down. They'll elect to go for a change here. As Murakami towards the right point, held in by Morris. He'll pinch down low. Luke Morris battling for the puck. Jams it free, goes below the goal line. Antti in space, loses the puck. Turnover here. Morris shoots and scores! Luke Morris ties the game up at 1. And that's just what the doctor ordered. A bang-bang play, and the Wranglers have tied it. And on the turnover behind Rolovs, it's going to be one of those quick plays for the Wranglers, and they cash in. Luke Morris getting the job done, and the Wranglers are on the board for the first time tonight. It's a brand new game as Masick backhands into the Wranglers zone. Ben Ivy will meet it. Morley Phillips with the lone assist on the goal. I believe it was Phillips who created the turnover. As puck goes back out the center and be fielded by Rizzo. As clock stops with 14:51 to go in the third period. Morris goal coming 4:40 into the third period. So for Morley Phillips, he will pick up his first point as a Wrangler on that goal. So congratulations to Morley Phillips, the former Maryland Black Bear, playing in his 13th game with the club, will pick up his first point on the Morris goal. What a big play it was as he created the turnover behind Rolovs, centered it out in front for Morris for the game-tying goal. Chunchikov darting towards his left. Beats Keskentepi towards the puck. Up ahead looking for Trace Day. And the puck is pried free by Bryce Ingles. Goes around towards the near side wall. Pops off a skate. Jeffers tries to jam it deeper. Goes into the skates of Ingles, and he will get out of his own zone right now. Finds Hamstick. Pressuring is Jeffers. Stretch pass connects with McDonald. He's home free. McDonald towards the goal. Backhand shot, and looks like he missed the net. Either that or McDonough made the save. Hard to tell from my vantage point, but either way, still a tie game. Across. Atiri towards the goal, and a pad save by McDonough. Jeffers for Papaspropoulos, and he will get it back out to center ice as McDonald make that Capello trying to turn away. Loses it to Puukkonen. Puck up for grabs in the neutral zone. Justin Kerr comes with it, sprinting towards the Wranglers zone. Gets cut off there by DeMarco. Good play there defensively to get the Wranglers out of harm's way. Play goes towards the near corner of the Wranglers zone. Papaspropoulos with the puck now, trying to shiftily evade pressure at deep in his own zone, and he does. Gets it to Puukkonen, who takes a whack at it, gets it back out to the neutral zone, but the Brahmas right back in on the attack. Owen Kerr gets crunched by DeMarco. Justin Kerr now. Atiri calling for the puck, he'll get it. Across for Murakami, he shakes a shot and his stick breaks. Goes to Bergeron and get a stoppage with 12:57 to go in the third. Shots are 24-17 in favor of Lone Star, but it's hard to tell from my vantage point if McDonough was able to get a pad on that stop on McDonald. Looks like we get that stoppage because the net came off, so it's hard to tell if that shot from McDonald on the backhand went off the side of the net or if McDonough made the save. Either way, it's a big moment here in this game. I wouldn't doubt that McDonough made the save on it. McDonald's a guy that seems to score at will, as he's had at least a point in all but 3 games this season. Puukkonen towards the neutral zone. Brahmas dump it in, and a quick play by McDonough. Caught him by surprise, able to paddle it out. Centering pass is picked off by Papaspropoulos, and he'll turn and sprint the other way. Papaspropoulos darts his way towards the middle. Gains the blue line, dumps it in. As the Wranglers on the forecheck, Phillips is in the area. Kralovic gains center red and will dump it down. Saxton Tess, first man on it. Trey Williams applying the heat here. Gagnon from his knees in the corner will backhand it out to center. Racing towards it, Grayson Gerhard. Emmons is able to swat it away, and now here come the Brahmas. Zavernyuk, left side. Masick back to Zavernyuk. Will peel at the half wall. Back to Masick, left point. Towards the goal, and it's snared out of the air by McDonough. He'll hold with 12:01 to go in the third period. We're all tied at 1. And for Luke Morris, he now has 3 goals on the season, 6 points for the Wranglers, as he was acquired from the El Paso Rhinos last season. Missed the last 3 games. Back in the lineup. Comes up big for the Wranglers. And the puck will roll in on McDonough on defensive zone draw. He'll cover it up and freeze. Stop the clock with 11:58 to go in the third. Ben Ivey taking the defensive zone draw here, and he wins it against Charlie Masick. Williams, the Dallas native, will send it up towards the neutral zone. Wranglers on the forecheck try and get it away, and they do. Ben Ivey into offensive territory. Battling with Murakami, who's lost his stick. Wranglers towards the slot. Puck bouncing, handled by Masick. Below the goal line, centering pass for DeMarco. Left circle, shooting, and a pad save by Roloffs. Puck is loose, Roloffs is down, but the Wranglers can't capitalize. Masick diving at center, gets it to Borak. Puck is loose. Zavernyuk back to Borak on the backhand between the legs, and a save made by McDonough. Unreal. McDonough magic in Brahmaland. Back out at center. Keskentepe going the other way. Off the end wall behind McDonough, around to Brock James. Towards the slot, McDonald cutting towards the goal. Sharp angle shot save made by McDonough. Puck is loose, Gagnon there. And he will play it to Jack Ivey, who had Ingles right behind him. James towards his right. Throws it towards the slot, goes around towards the near side wall. Held in by Ingles, left point. We get a stoppage with 10:43 to go in the third. Looks like the net has come off again behind McDonough. What an unreal save by Connor McDonough on the between-the-legs shot. Keeps it tied at 1 midway through the third period. I mean, he can't make this stuff up from Connor McDonough. It seems like every single night he just adds to his highlight reel, which is already impressive in its own right. He has performed quite admirably for the Wranglers this season, as he has been their leader between the pipes so far this campaign. Offensive zone draw won by the Wranglers. DeMarco being pressured by Capello. Sees the puck go the other way to Kerr. Wranglers able to take a hold of it at center ice as Luke Morris will flip it into Brahma territory. Morris will backhand it down low. Trace Day after it, being pressured by Ingles. Wranglers send it around towards the right corner. Jeffers being pressured. Brahmas go the other way, as now here comes Owen Kerr. Gets shouldered there by Bryce Cooper. Puck bouncing behind McDonough. Cooper free, takes a check from Owen Kerr, not much of it, as Justin Kerr gets slammed up on the far wall by Luke Morris. Brahmas will whistle around towards the near side wall. Got so much steam on it that it goes back out to center. Wranglers on the forecheck here, trying to get the puck back, and they do force an error from the Brahmas in the neutral zone. Trace Day towards his right for Pukin into the attacking zone. Loses a step as he's immediately swarmed by a herd of Brahmas, and now Lone Star back into Amarillo territory. Play speeding up here in the third period is now Wranglers looking to go the other way. Day will tap it into Brahma territory. He goes off for a change. What a game he's having as Saxton tests over the Wrangler line. Gets some help from Bergeron to dive it deep. McDonough around for Pukinen in space. He's got time. Plays it to Papadopoulos in front of the Wrangler bench. Gains center red towards his right. DeMarco throws it off the end wall. Pukinen in the area. Winds it around towards the near side. James is the first one on it. Wranglers try and pick his pocket to no success. And is back out at center. It's Bo Kralovic evading a check of DeMarco. Lifting it into the Wranglers zone. James at the left point being hounded by DeMarco. Has to retreat back out to center. Brock James will elect to just loft it into Wrangler territory. Play from behind McDonough. Squeaking free is Hampstead. Exchanges with the Thierry. Backhand pass towards the slot is picked off by Doherty. Arm is raised, and it looks like the Brahmas are going to go to the power play here. Ouch. And it will be Alex Papadopoulos going to the box. It's getting loud in here. Couldn't hear what the official call was from the PA announcer, so stand by for the moment. In the meantime, Wranglers get set to go back to the penalty kill. Big moment in the game here. Gagnon off the draw will clear it down in the opening moments of the penalty to Papadopoulos. It is 2 minutes for high sticking to Alex Papadopoulos that has him in the box right now. As Borak in his own zone. Finds Kerr, now back to Borak, swings out right side. Borak with speed towards his left. Bergeron gains the circle and shoots, and it's out of the air and snared by McDonough. Makes no mistake and holds with 7:45 to go in the third period. A minute 27 remaining on the Papadopoulos penalty. That's something that the Wranglers can't happen. It seems like the Brahmas are able to kind of catapult themselves with speed through the neutral zone, and once they take flight, it's hard to stop them. As we just saw on that last sequence, so Pukinen to take the defensive zone draw against Zadvernyuk. Swats it towards the wall. Brahmas get possession. Murakami pinching down. Gets caught up with Jeffers. Wranglers trying to weasel the puck free. Unable to do so. Is at the line. It's Ingles holding it. Zavernyuk with time towards his left. Gains the circle. Towards the middle. Deflection goes wide as Masick was in the area. McDonald towards the right point for Ingles, and a whistle as the net is off again. Might need to break out the drill here. Get that fixed up. I believe that's the third time this period. 59 seconds remaining on the Brahma power play. 7:17 to go in the third. So Pupukinen against Masick in the left circle, and Masick wins it. Right point, Ingles. Down low, quick pass towards the circle for a shot. Save made by McDonough. Rebound comes to Murakami. He'll shoot. Fan on it again towards the slot. Poked away by Pupukinen, and at the line, Ingles. Left side, Masick to the half wall. Exchanges with Zavernyuk. They'll trade places. Zavernyuk across, connects with Murakami. He'll shoot, and a save made by McDonough on that try. And afterwards, Brahma gets dumped down to the ice. Fans ooh and awe. It's Charlie Masick, the recipient of that. So we'll see what comes out of this. McDonough talking things over with the head official. Looks like no penalty to be had here. And so we'll resume play with the draw to the left of McDonough in the far circle of the Wranglers zone. It'll be Kerr against Ben Ivy on this faceoff. 35 seconds remaining on the Brahma power play. Draws one by Lone Star. Atiri walking the line towards his right. James gains the circle. Button hooks now back up to the line. Atiri towards his right. He's got James. He'll shoot, and a save made by McDonough. Goes towards the corner. DeMarco is there. Gets it up to Jack Ivy to the line, and the Wranglers get it out. Ben Ivy is there to get it back out to center. Jack Ivy going the other way, short-handed. Jack Ivy behind the goal. Gets it up to the right point for DeMarco. Fortune's changing for the Wranglers as Doherty takes a shot, goes off the end wall. Rolls around, and back to even strength. James gains the center red line, rims it down. McDonough slows it as he gets it to DeMarco. Up ahead, Atiri holding it in. Wranglers crash on him. Luke Morris is there. Out to center it goes. Morris will pitch it in towards the Brahma zone. Atiri will play it, but he will wait first behind his own cage. Right side connects with McDonald. Jacob McDonald finds Masick, but he's offside, and fans roar in disapproval as the Eagle Eye linesman says, offside. And so it'll be a neutral zone draw here. I gotta say, that was awfully close. I'm not quite sure if that came out or not. It was very, very close, but it will be an offside. Find out how this one ends. 5:44 to go in the third period, all tied up at 1. High drama here in Brahma land. We'll be back in 1 minute on the Wranglers Hockey Network.
This is Topi Puikkonen, and you are listening to Wranglers Hockey on YouTube.
Welcome back to NYTEX Sports Center, where we're all tied up at 1. 5:44 to go in the third period. Lone Star scored first at the tail end of the second period with a goal from Justin Kerr. Wranglers responded in the first 4 minutes of the third period with a goal from Luke Morris, his third of the season, has the game tied up at 1. Brahmas trying to weasel their way into the Wranglers zone. Wranglers D having none of it. As Williams will bounce it out to center. It'll roll down on roll-offs. No icing. Trace Day on the forecheck, applying the pressure. He will head towards the bench. As big hit on by Gerhardt on Murakami as Brahmas captain was able to exit his own zone. Some weight being thrown around here as the Brahmas on the attack. Atiri towards the goal. Swallowed up by McDonough, and he'll hold it with 5:07 to go in the third. Oh, baby. What a game. Look at the shot count. 32-19 in favor of Lone Star, but on a night like this, doesn't matter. It's all tied up at 1. And this is kind of the game where Connor McDonough has really helped the Wranglers out. Now 33-19 on the shot count, but Connor McDonough, if the Wranglers are able to come away with a victory, has got to be my #1 star of the game, stopping a few breakaways. Big chances for Lone Stars. Keskentepe, right point. Throws it towards the slot. Takes a few hops. Goes to Morley Phillips. He'll bat it back out the center. McDonough plays it to Cooper. He'll wait behind the Wrangler cage. Looking for Phillips on a forward pass. Players converge on the Wrangler blue line. As Ingles takes a few checks. Wranglers fish the puck free. Jeffers finds Cooper. Back to Jeffers. He will quarterback things here as the Wranglers look to find an avenue to break out. Bryce Ingles from his own zone, feeling the pressure from Phillips. Looking for a pass up ahead. Instead, it's a puck battle on the near wall. Squeaks free to DeMarco. He'll lift it out the center where it's gloved down by Ingles. Quickly played toward his left for Borak. McDonough slows it down. Potential turnover here. Kerr just couldn't get enough on it. Wranglers escape a break here is Capello in the far corner. Trying to dance by the Wranglers defense. DeMarco doing an excellent job of standing him up there. Players pinned up against the boards. Deep in the Wrangler zone. Owen Kerr muscles it free. Atiri left point. Throws it towards the goal. Save me by McDonough. Justin Kerr is down in the blue paint behind McDonough. Now just getting up to his feet as the Wranglers get up ahead. Arm is raised. We have a penalty here. And they're going to take Drew Jeffers. It's going to be 2 minutes for interference. And so, 3:24 to go in the third period. Wranglers have to kill a penalty here. Massive moment in the game. Both teams have had plenty of power play opportunities. Neither has been able to come up with a power play goal so far tonight, although the Kerr goal was scored 4-on-4. But this could be one of those plays where if the Wranglers end up winning, look back at this kill as being a big moment in the game. If the Brahmas win, get a power play goal here, look back on this power play here and say, yep, that was it. And so we'll see which way it falls. As they will drop the puck to the right of McDonough, near circle of the Wranglers zone. Amarillo off the draw, trying to gain possession. From the near corner, Ram is able to weasel it free, left point. It's Ingles, left side for Zavernyuk. He'll be patient here. Drops it back for Ingles, across for Murakami, right circle. He'll work his way down low behind the goal. Masick, centering attempt, goes off the back of the net, and the Wranglers will clear. Murakami bustling his way into the Wranglers zone. Curls at the near half wall. Trying to exchange with Zavraniuk at the line, and the Wranglers being disruptive. Get it away. Connor McNaughton with speed going the other way. Potential numbers. Chunchikov towards the goal. Back to McNaughton, and the pass just wouldn't connect. Good look for the Wranglers there, short-handed, but fortune wasn't in the cards for the Wranglers on that last play. Atiri drops it off at center. Now it's Borak with speed towards his right. Borak stops. Right corner back up to the line. James across. Atiri drifting towards the goal. Shoots, and a pad saved by McDonough. Wranglers whack it back down. Another big clear here, short-handed for the Wranglers. Jeffers is out in 35 seconds. Borak towards his right, connects with James at the line. Wranglers poke it free, and another big-time clear. This time it's Nolan Gagnon sending it the distance. Thierry through center. Being stymied by Ben Ivy, drops it off for Borak. Gains Wranglers blue and gets poked away by Cooper. At center, Justin Kerr trying to split the D, and the Wranglers were ready for that as well. Ben Ivy going the other way. Jeffers is out right now. As Ben Ivy whacks a shot towards the goal, Rolovs catches it. He keeps play rolling. Atiri towards his right. He's got Justin Kerr. Well, only for a moment as Trace Davis able to poke it away. Up at center, Chunchikov towards his right, off the wall. He'll give chase. Tommy Chunchikov, right corner, now to the left corner for Luke Morris. Trying to go back for Chunchikov behind Rolovs. Chunchikov gets hauled down towards the ice. Wranglers still with possession. It's Luke Morris, right corner. He's being attacked by Hampstead. Wranglers trying to get the puck off the corner. 45 seconds remain in the third. All tied up at 1. Now we get a stoppage of play with 40.9 seconds to go in the third. As that puck was still pinned up against the end wall. As Ryan Anderson, head coach of the Wranglers, and Connor Yanni look on. Dan Wildfong with his arms crossed for the Brahmas. Looks like they're going to move this draw towards the neutral zone dot in front of the Brahmas bench. Or I am mistaken. It will be in the Brahmas zone. So it'll actually be to the right of Deves Rolovs. So offensive zone faceoff for the Wranglers here. If Ben Ivy's able to win this, Wranglers maybe to cycle the puck around a little bit, able to get a few cracks on goal. Just about 41 seconds remaining in the third. And off that draw, puck is loose, and Lone Star unable to possess the Wranglers, quickly attacking the puck. Eventually, Bergeron's going to peel away from the pack, wait behind Rolovs, and backhand it around towards the far side wall where it's held in by Gagnon. He'll backhand it deeper. Brahmas trying to flip the script. DeMarco will pinch. Back around behind Rolovs. Brahmas again trying to get it out, and this time it's McDonald lifting it up ahead to do so. Flag down by DeMarco, no problem. They'll send it back down towards the Brahmas zone. And looks like by all accounts, we are headed to overtime.
All right, fans, it's time for the most exciting period in all.
So, extra hockey here in Lone Star. We're all tying up at 1, heading into OT. First, it was Justin Kerr getting the job done with 24.5 seconds to go in the second period from Murakami and James to make it a 1-0 game, 4-on-4. And then in the third period for the Wranglers, it was Luke Morris getting his third goal of the year off of a brilliant play by Morley Phillips behind Deves Rolovs to create a turnover, centered it towards Morris, who was able to one-time the goal, or the shot, past Rolovs to tie the game up at 1. And that's where we're at so far. And we'll look to see who the overtime hero might be. Wranglers are 5-2 in overtime this season. Brahmas have not had a game end in overtime. Lone Star has not won or lost a game in overtime. All of their extra frames have been decided in the shootout. So we'll see how this fares for the Wranglers here as we approach 3-on-3 action. NYTEX Sports Centre. It's familiar territory for the Wranglers here tonight. As again, we talked about them being so good in close games. Well, this will really test them. Remember the last time that the Wranglers defeated the Brahmas, that Friday night a couple weeks ago at the Budweiser bullpen. The Wranglers were able to come away with the victory in the shootout thanks to goals from Nolan Gagnon and Topi Pukanen. Brahmas were held off the board in the shootout, but seems like in that overtime game, the Brahmas really wanted to just play patient with the puck and really kind of force the shootout. We'll see if they carry that same approach here tonight, as the Wranglers will send out Morris, McNaughton, and Gagnon to start the 3-on-3 session. And we're underway for overtime as Gagnon comes away with it off the draw. Looks like the Wranglers will have a first crack at it offensively in 3-on-3. Jack Ivey will swing out right side as he and Ben Ivey climb onto the ice. Jack Ivey trying to drive towards the net, gets directed towards the far corner. He'll backhand it around towards the near wall where Ben Ivey will claim it, as he will go back out towards his own zone and regroup for the Wranglers here. Just 30 seconds into overtime. Nolan Gagnon waiting behind his own net. Ivy twins staying on for the moment. Looks like they will stay on as Gagnon towards his left. Weasels his way deep into the Brahmas zone. Gets his pocket picked by James, and now here the Brahmas go. Murakami will peel away at the red line. Brahmas get new men on. Zavernyuk gaining center red. Now he'll move into the Wranglers zone. Zavernyuk trying to go toward the middle, looking for McDonald. Pass is broken up, and now the Wranglers have possession. Pukanen for McNaughton, darting towards his left. McNaughton towards the goal. Can't get a shot away as the puck rolled off his stick at the last second. It gets directed towards the corner by Antti Atiri. Players converge. Pukanen gets the puck away from the pile. He'll turn and throw it across. He's looking for DeMarco. Pass was offline. Battle for it in the corner. McNaughton all alone at the top of the circle. Wranglers won't get the puck to him as the Brahmas will come away with it here. Off goes DeMarco. On comes Gagnon. On his left side, Zavernyuk gains the Wranglers zone. Stops at the half wall. Finds Atiri. He'll try and dig deeper. Drop it off for Zavernyuk. Left point, Ivan Zavernyuk with McNaughton in front of him. McNaughton applying the pressure, forces the Brahmas back out towards their own zone. 2 minutes gone in the overtime session. Antti Atiri rumbles into the attacking zone. He'll shoot, and a save made by McDonough. Puck is free and is carried by Papaspropoulos as he will meander his way through the neutral zone. Left side connects with McDonald. High slot, McDonald towards his right at the circle, down low towards the middle. Gagnon shoots, and it goes off the end wall. Rolov's lost track of it for a second. Lone Star coming away with the puck as Hampstead will dip, dive, and duck around in his own zone. And start to break out here for Lone Star in overtime. Left side, Hampstead gained the blue line. Unfortunately for him, Brock James had already also done so. Brahmas are offside with 2:17 to go in overtime. Well, both teams having a crack at it. A couple cracks at it really so far in overtime as we're a little halfway through the overtime session. Rizzo gets crunched along the boards by Jack Ivey. Brahmas keep possession, though, as it rolled onto the stick of Brock James. Ever so dangerously swings it right side for Kerr. Now back to James, and here he goes. Brock James motors into the Wranglers zone. Toe drag, gets it towards the goal, and a kick save by McDonough. Brock James directed towards the near corner. Battle for it at the half wall. Ben Ivy comes away with it, gets tripped down. Wranglers want to call. Not going to get it, as Jack Ivy with possession. Gains center red. Cuts towards the middle, and Wranglers are offside with 1:35 to go in overtime.
Now available from the Martin House beer is one of the area's oldest and most popular craft beers that is scientifically proven. Drinking one improves the hockey experience. Martin House Brewery.
Pukkanen, McNaughton, and Gagnon out there for the Wranglers. McDonald, Zadvernyuk, and Murakami for Lone Star. And off the neutral zone draw, Murakami will claim it, and he will stake his claim behind his own net as he looks to survey the scene. As Zadvernyuk picks up the puck and rumbles towards the right side wall. Zadvernyuk curls at the right circle, drops it off. Murakami, left circle. He'll exchange with McDonald towards his right, dropping it off. Murakami, high slot, all alone. Murakami down low, centering past McDonald, and it's blocked by Pukkanen. Big time block there for the Wranglers as the net was wide open. 1 minute in overtime. Zadvernyuk for Murakami. Now McDonald, high slot, McDonald towards the goal, across for a shot, and they score. Ivan Zadvernyuk wins it in overtime. With 49.8 seconds to go in OT. The Brahmas come away with a victory. They goal from Ivan Zadvernyuk. Wranglers do get a point out of this. And so they're now tied with El Paso at 30 on the year. And now the Wranglers fall to 13-8-4 on the year. As I mentioned, they do pick up point number 30 on the season for Lone Star. Pick up points 41 and 42 as Dan Wildfong's team improves to 26-0-2. First team in the league to crack the 20-win mark. As the Lone Star Brahmas will salute the crowd and head off. Wranglers postgame starts now. Well, it's a game that is as tight as they come. I think the Wranglers was a vast improvement over the last time that these two teams met. Think about overtime. It's one of those plays where Brahmas got possession in the Wranglers zone, and they really started having their way with it. Started to see the Brahmas really cycle the puck around the Wranglers zone. You start seeing these drop passes as there are players in motion, kind of like you see in football, where kind of like a jet sweep, where you've got a guy in motion going one way, drop the puck off, guy goes another way, and Brahmas really had their way on that last sequence in overtime. Honestly, probably should have scored a little bit earlier if Pukkanen doesn't make that big block, as they have McDonough faked out on that play. There was no way he was getting across to make a save on that, so that block from Pukkanen really stopped that play from happening earlier. And so the Brahmas, seeing that they had it on that play, went back and tried it again. And on the second try, that's when they got it. It was a pretty well drawn up play in overtime. I'll give them that. But for the Wranglers, he falls short just again, as the Wranglers now fall to 1-1, or excuse me, 1-1-2. Yes, 1-1-2 on the road trip so far. And you got to find a way to win games on the road. That's how you know it's been a long game, is when you start getting tongue-tied in the postgame show. Got to find a way to win games on the road, and the Wranglers almost did it in really one of the most hostile environments in the South Division in NYTEX Sports Centre. Fans get loud. They get real loud in here. It's a tough environment to play in, and the Wranglers really stuck through it in this game. I thought it was a really good response from this Wrangler club after the events that happened the last time these two teams got together. I thought Connor McDonough really played his heart out. This is one of those games where Connor McDonough, he's going to carry this loss on his record this season, but by no means did he deserve it. He really played his heart out. He stopped 35 of 27, really did everything he could. For me, he's my #1 star of the game. Connor McDonough really played excellent for the Wranglers, gave the Wranglers a chance to win. There were a few moments where the Wranglers' defense kind of got confused, and Lone Star was trying to play some trickery through the neutral zone, and they had a few plays where they had a few breakaways. McDonough was able to shut the door, and for the Wranglers, Connor McDonough did everything he could to give them a chance to win, but unfortunately, the Wranglers do fall 2-1 in overtime to the Lone Star Brahmas. Brahmas now lead the season series 4-1. These two teams will be right back in action here tomorrow night, same time, 7:30 puck drop. We'll call it a 7:15 pregame show as the Wranglers look to bounce back against the Lone Star Brahmas. And then the weekend after, they'll finish off the home and home, as it'll be 2 games at the Budweiser bullpen against the Brahmas and the Wranglers, and that'll end the season series. And so you think about the season series ending, call it midway through December, because I guess that would be the second weekend of December. I really can't believe it's already December, but that's not the point. The point is this is going to be the first season series that the Wranglers will finish up this season. It's going to be it's interesting, because you think it might be just one of those instances where you catch the Brahmas at the wrong time. You sometimes in sports you see teams that really get off to a hot start, and sometimes it's just all about when the schedule lines up and you play them throughout the course of the season. Maybe the Wranglers caught the Brahmas at the wrong time, as this Lone Star team really seems to be rolling as of late. But fortunately for the Wranglers, they do fall tonight, but I really think that they put their best foot forward. I think Ryan Anderson got everything he could out of this club. Tomorrow's a new day, and the Wranglers will look to get back in the win column as they take on the Lone Star Brahmas here tomorrow night at NYTEX Sports Centre. So let's take a look at around the league before we sign off here, as we did have some other games going on in the division. We'll see if we've got any finals here. So let's see what we've got. Looks like Oklahoma defeats New Mexico, so the Ice Wolves stay at 29 points, so that's good for the Wranglers. They're still ahead of New Mexico. Odessa takes care of El Paso, so now the Wranglers are tied with the Rhinos at 30 points, which puts them at a tie for second, unless the Mudbugs win, and they do. So the Mudbugs win 7-2 against the Corpus Christi Ice Rays. So the Mudbugs now have sole possession of second place with 31 points. Wranglers and Rhinos right behind them. They're third and fourth place, respectively, at 30 points, and then right behind them, New Mexico with 29, and then right behind them, in sixth, Oklahoma with 28. So we'll keep an eye on that South Division race as we turn our sights towards the holiday season. And you know what that means? That means that the playoff picture is starting to take shape as we inch closer and closer towards the midway point in the season. We start to find out who's for real, who's for not. I think there's a lot of teams in this division that really are for real. Wranglers really playing through one of their toughest stretches of the season. We talked about catching the Brahmas at the wrong time. The Wranglers' strength of schedule really lightens up after the turn of the calendar year. So they'll benefit a lot from that. But, again, you got to find a way to win games against teams like the Lone Star Brahmas. Wranglers taking a step in the right direction, though, able to salvage a point out of this in enemy territory. So I'm really excited to see what tomorrow brings for the Wranglers, see if they can once again take another step forward and come away with a victory against the Lone Star Brahmas. One thing's for sure is it's going to be fun to watch, so head on over to NATV at 7:30, 7:15 pregame show. Same thing for YouTube on our audio stream. We'll have it all for you here tomorrow night. Well, I think that's going to do it for me from NYTEX Sports Centre. Got a big day ahead of us tomorrow. Got to rest up and get ready. So, I am Guy Chiarenza saying good night and so long from NYTEX Sports Centre. Once again, your final score, the Lone Star Brahmas 2 and the Amarillo Wranglers 1. Final from overtime. Take care, have a good night,